Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a quiet Thursday evening, because not everyone is going to be having a quiet Thursday evening. Unfortunately, dealing with another round of strong to severe thunderstorms as we head over the next few hours and into early Friday morning, as we have severe thunderstorm watches that are in place across the 1011 coverage area, including in Lincoln and Lancaster County, Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, areas like that. And already seeing a pretty stout line of thunderstorms push through the area. And we're going to be going over kind of what we're seeing, what we're going to expect as we head over the next few hours. And could be seeing, again, some a pretty nasty line of storms move through, damaging winds. Could see winds gusting 70, 75, even up to 80 miles an hour, large hail, and can't rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two as we head through the overnight hours tonight. So a lot going on. Again, so we'll kind of dive into it here as we go over the next few minutes. Those are not the supers that I want. That's not the super that I want. This is the supers that I want. There we go. Okay. So going ahead and just kind of diving right in, looking at the radar, because we do have a rather large severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued across parts of south central Nebraska. This warning's for parts of Buffalo, Dawson, Kearney, and Phelps County. So this is going to include, again, areas like Holdridge, Kearney, Lexington, as well as Minden. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, as well as quarter-sized hail are going to be possible with this storm. And we are watching this cluster of storms for the potential for a spin-up tornado as well. There's a couple notches in here, a couple areas of rotation that we're watching closely. So I'm going to pause the radar loop, and we'll kind of zoom in here, and we're going to punch up our velocity scope. So there's a couple areas of rotation that we're kind of concerned with at this point. One of them being near the Amherst area, and then near the Alma area as well. So we'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer here so we can get a little bit of a better view. And so again, looking at our velocity scope, again, you can see kind of near the Amherst area as well as back down near the Elm Creek area, just to the west of Highway 183. A couple little spots of rotation that we're gonna watch closely here over the next few minutes. Again, with these lines of thunderstorms, which we have developing out there tonight, we can really quickly, and sometimes they're hard to kind of keep track of, really quickly see these brief spin-up tornadoes along the leading edge of some of these thunderstorms. You get these little kinks in these line of thunderstorms, kind of like we see near the Elm Creek area, a little bit back near the Amherst area. But you see these little kinks in these thunderstorms, and you can get really brief, quick spin-up tornadoes. Aren't necessarily on the ground all that long, but again, it's dark outside. Folks are sleeping. They can be tough to see, and again, they can just be really, really difficult to even get a warning out on sometimes. So we're going to watch those areas closely. But if we zoom back out here, again, folks in Holdridge, folks in Alma, this line of storms basically knocking on your doorstep right now. Folks in Kearney, you have a few minutes before this line of storms arrives. Right now, kind of just right over Highway 183, and then up near to the Ravenna area. Again, we're going to have some of that activity move through here in the next few minutes. So again, kind of zooming back out just a little bit. Again, looking at this again, rather large warning. Covers parts of Franklin, Phelps, Kearney, Gosper, Buffalo, Sherman, Dawson, Furnace, and Harlan County. That warning goes until midnight tonight, so for about another half an hour. Again, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. Thunderstorm is going to be, again, near the Holdridge, Elm Creek, Orleans, Loomis, Amherst, Long Island, Atlanta, Woodruff area here in just the next few minutes. Alma and Odessa, also in just the next few minutes. Hazard, Huntley, and Reagan in the next few minutes, and then Pleasanton, Funk, and Riverdale in the next few minutes as well. And so again, folks in that area want to be paying attention as this line moves on through. And it's the southern end of this line that we've really seen so far tonight kind of be the strongest end of this line as it's been moving west to east across the state over the past few hours. Starting to see as we head a little bit further north, some of these storms start to strengthen a little bit further to the north as this line is moving into a more favorable environment. And so again, we're expecting some intensification with the middle and kind of northern ends of this line, but also have another severe thunderstorm warning here. This is going to be for parts of Greeley, Howard, Sherman, and Valley County. So it's going to include the cities of Greeley, Loop City, Ord, and St. Paul. This is also until midnight tonight. Quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible with that storm. It's going to be, again, in the Greeley, Ashton, Coatesfield area about now. Spalding around 11:40, Elba around 11:50, and around the Walbach area around midnight tonight. And then lastly, again, we kind of have the northern tip of this line, which right now is fairly kind of unorganized, not all that severe. But again, as this line of storms continues to kind of push into a little bit more favorable environment, we are going to continue to likely see some intensification with this line. So we're going to continue to watch it closely as we head over the next hour or two. There we go. I was covering up part of my radar there. So again, that's kind of what we have right now as far as just looking at the radar. The 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, but again, we're watching those closely. But we have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in place across central and eastern sections of the state. This includes, again, Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, Lincoln, Fairbury, Hebron, Omaha, Columbus, Norfolk, until 4 a.m. Friday. So for another 4.5 hours or so. And again, our primary threats as we head over the next several hours are likely going to, the primary threat as we head over the next several hours are likely going to be damaging wind gusts. And again, we could see a pretty wide swath of wind gusts that reach 60 to maybe 70 miles an hour. On the high end, though, some of these storms could see those wind gusts approaching maybe 80 to 85 miles an hour with some of the strongest thunderstorms. Large hail is also going to be possible tonight. Again, I think it's a little bit of not quite as big of a threat as damaging winds, but some large hail up to maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter can't be ruled out. With the fast pace of these storms, while there could be some areas of heavy rain, flooding threat isn't as much of a concern. More widespread flooding threat isn't as much of a concern because these storms are going to be moving through pretty quickly, but they could pretty quickly drop in half an inch, inch and a half of rain in some spots. Isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out. Again, I just kind of mentioned it, but these squall lines that move on through, you can sometimes get these brief spin-ups, these little kinks in the line that are sometimes really hard to see, really hard to warn. Those can pop up, so we're going to watch those. Watch for those. And then again, some dangerous lightning is going to be possible out there tonight as well. I mentioned widespread flooding, not a concern, but it is a concern for some of us. Again, especially those earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday, that got hammered with heavy rain. So parts of Saunders, Butler County, up to Dodge, Douglas, Washington, Burt counties. Again, some of these areas saw 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain earlier this week, and so we do have a flood watch in those areas that runs through 10 a.m. On Friday. So again, we could potentially see another half an inch, inch and a half in some of these areas that likely still have standing water from the storms earlier this week. And again, soil's already very saturated in these areas. So again, unfortunately, we could see some additional areas of heavy rain in these areas, and that's not something that we particularly like to see. Storm Prediction Center outlook for the night tonight has an enhanced risk covering much of central and eastern sections of the state, and that includes the Lincoln area. And I looked it up. This is actually, for Lincoln and Lancaster County, the 7th time this year that we've been under that enhanced risk for severe weather. Which is a lot. 7 times so far this year, 3rd time just this week, we've been in that enhanced risk area. If you look back and go back into 2023, we were under an enhanced risk 4 times the entire year. So we've almost met that just this week, and so far for the year, again, we're just one shy of doubling that. So not been great. Again, it's been a pretty busy severe weather season over the past 4 or 5 weeks or so. Again, if you look at the tornado probability, it is on the lower side, but it's not 0, 5% for much of the central and eastern sections of the state. So again, that's something we'll continue to monitor. Again, like I mentioned, the primary threat is likely going to be those damaging straight line winds, which again, as this line continues to develop, southern part of the line is already fairly intense and fairly strong, but as this line continues to develop across sort of the middle and northern ends of this line, we could see a pretty wide swath of those damaging winds as we head into the overnight hours. And then, again, the large threat for large hail is also out there tonight. Again, if I had to put them in order, it's going to go wind, hail, flooding, or flooding rains, heavy rains, and then tornado. So that's something, again, we'll continue to watch closely as we head over the next few hours. So, again, here's the statewide view of the satellite and radar picture. And, again, you can see the loop over the last 4 hours or so. These storms produced a number of tornado warnings back near North Platte into the Ogallala area earlier this evening. And since then, again, have continued to race to the east. And, again, beginning to pick up speed now, too, just a little bit. And, again, you can see the 2 warnings that we already talked about that are currently on the board for south-central sections of the state. So out ahead of this line, downstream of this line, again, areas like Grand Island and Hastings, kind of that Highway 281 corridor, these storms are going to be heading your way. We'll see warnings out for the Grand Island and Hastings area, likely within the next half an hour or so as this line continues to race to the east. So, again, one of the issues with it feels like this severe weather setup, again, like we've seen already several times over the past few weeks, is that this is going to be another nighttime event. And so, again, it's dark. A lot of folks are sleeping, may not necessarily know what's going on. And, again, that can be some of the most dangerous times to, again, trying to get that really important and critical information to those people who may be asleep and they may not have that way to get their weather information. So, again, right now we're streaming live. Again, it's almost 11:45 at night. Again, a lot of folks are probably already in bed, but if you are staying up late with us, again, we're trying to bring you some of that important information. Again, Lincoln and Lancaster County, obviously not under the threat of anything as of right now, and we're not expecting these storms to really impact the area probably between about 1 and 3 a.m., maybe 2 and 4 a.m. is what we're thinking. Moving through the Lincoln and Lancaster County areas and into parts of eastern and southeastern Nebraska. But, again, we'll stay with you through the night tonight. Meteorologist Brandon Rector is in the Weather Center right now. Again, if you're watching on the 1011 live stream, you may see Brandon pop on at some point if he is doing a cut-in. That takes precedence, and so that will take over the live stream. But right now, if you're watching on YouTube, again, we'll try and bring you that cut-in when it happens live, if we do see Brandon pop on. So that is something we'll watch closely, which, in fact, actually, I'm going to punch up something real quick here. Just so I can see when he does pop on. I'll make sure that's punched up. So, yeah, going to have a lot going on tonight, and so I hope everyone, again, can avoid some of the severe weather that we're seeing across the area. But unfortunately, again, I think a lot of us are not going to be able to avoid some of these stronger thunderstorms that we see out there. So, just checking the chat here to see if there's been anything new come up. And some of the short-term, model runs, again, really have some of that that middle part of that line that's kind of just along and to the north of the interstate, really intensifying quite a bit, and some pretty high probabilities of seeing some severe winds. You can see in the radar loop there over the course of the past hour or so, that line has really intensified as it's moving into, again, a more unstable part of the atmosphere. A lot of moisture in the atmosphere right now for these thunderstorms to work with, and we're also seeing that low-level jet continue to increase across the area as well. So those are all working to help intensify some of these storms. So, again, if we go back to our storm tracker radar here, look at these warnings. Again, still the biggest warning we have on the board right now is this one for south central Nebraska. Again, includes the Kearney and Franklin area until midnight tonight. 1-inch hail, quarter-inch hail, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts going to be possible with that storm. Again, if we zoom in and we pause the radar here, again, this storm beginning to push into the Riverdale area right now. Again, it's going to be moving into the Kearney area here in just a next few minutes. Has moved through the Holdridge area. At least the strongest part of the storm has moved through the Holdridge area. Folks in Minden are going to see this in the next few minutes. Folks in Wilcox, folks in Huntley, Napanee, Alma, you're seeing it right now. Going to see this all here in just the next few minutes. I want to punch up here. I'm going to swap out our radar here, and I'm going to punch up. This is our radar scope program, which, again, is just another radar program that I like to use. Again, we can have both radar and velocity up here on the screen at the same time. So again, you can see some of these really bright greens in here, and even some of these blues are indicative of some really, really strong winds. And one of the things that is concerning right now is this little notch that we have down just to the south of the Wilcox area, to the southwest of Hildreth, and kind of just back now to the east of the Huntley area. That's one of these little notches that we talk about with these QLCS lines, where we can see a brief spin-up tornado. So that's something I would like to watch closely here over just the next few minutes. And if I put this into motion here, we can see that notch is moving almost due east, maybe a little bit just to the east-northeast. So again, folks, Campbell and the upland area, this is part of the storm that I would certainly pay close attention to. We zoom in even closer here. Take a look. I can sample. Take a look and sample again. Some of these really bright blues. These are the winds, again, that we're measuring, and our radar can measure the speed of these winds. And again, right now, it's measuring some winds, and this is aloft. This is not necessarily at the surface, but measuring winds aloft right now, anywhere between about 75, 85, and at the highest around 90 miles an hour, which is pretty intense winds. We're still a few miles away from the radar at Blue Hill, but if we use our measuring tool, it can kind of give us an idea. Those winds are about 2,500 feet in the air. And so 2,500 feet straight up is where the radar is measuring those winds. And if the winds are that strong, that high up, they're likely not that strong at the surface. But again, this is where we're talking about some of these winds could mix down to the surface. And, you know, if it's 90 miles an hour straight up in the air, these are some winds that we could see potentially at the surface be 75, 80, 85 miles an hour. So that is, again, some very damaging wind gusts potentially in those areas. And it sounds like, again, just looking at the National Weather Service chat here, they are considering a tornado warning for those areas. Doesn't look like they've issued one yet. But again, that is an area we're going to watch closely here over the next few minutes to see for a possible tornado warning. Let's see. Yeah, so again, folks in Campbell, Hildreth, or not Hildreth, folks in Campbell and Upland would certainly need to be paying attention to that storm and that part of the storm. So again, if we zoom back out just a touch, put this into motion, and you can kind of see that eastward and northeastward movement again of that storm, and you can see that little notch that's developed in that storm over the course of the last 30 or so minutes. This radar loop is over the course of the last hour. I'm going to slow it down just a skosh. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, right now that's the most pressing area of concern that we have currently on the board. So again, folks in Campbell, it looks like, according to the Weather Service, despite the impressive radar signatures, not getting a lot of ground truths to reports of severe wind. So that is some good news. Again, even though the radar is, again, maybe showing some really strong winds aloft, at least right now, again, that can change, not seeing a whole lot of ground truth to those severe winds just yet. So that is some good news. Moving back here to the north, again, kind of across parts of this is Valley, Greeley, Sherman, Howard County. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning. That's in effect till midnight tonight. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Radar indicated with those. Again, a lot of this is going to be radar indicated because it's almost midnight and folks are sleeping. So we're not going to get a whole lot of storm reports necessarily through the overnight hours. And then back up into the northeastern sections of the state, Again, nothing severe as of yet, and I mentioned it as we started this stream. It was rather unorganized and fairly weak, but you can see in just the last few minutes, again, some of these storms have begun to intensify across parts of Knox County, down into Antelope and Boone County, Wheeler County. So again, this line is going to continue to intensify as it pushes to the east and to the northeast as well. So again, expecting the potential for damaging winds, potentially some large hail mixed in there as well. So this whole line, as it continues to push to the east and northeast, we're going to continue to watch closely. So we're going to punch up our Skycast model here, take a look at what we can expect as we head over the next few hours across the coverage area. Again, so this that's 11 o'clock. We want to go forward to midnight. So this is what the model has at midnight. And again, I feel like doing a pretty good job real world. Pretty good job of showing real-world conditions, having that line, again, just kind of moving through the Kearney area, from up near Ord down through Kearney into the Holdridge area. So, again, I feel like our rapid refresh model has a pretty good handle of what's going on out there tonight. So this is midnight, so that's in about 10 minutes or so. So, again, I feel like a pretty good starting point in this model run by 1 a.m. So over the course of the next hour, again, you can see storms are going to be moving in a hurry. As they move into central and then eventually into eastern sections of the state. So again, you can see by 1 a.m. still have a lot of activity developing up into the northeastern sections of the state as that line continues to intensify. One thing I'm not a huge fan of with this model run is it does seem maybe just a little overdone. There's a lot of reds, a lot of pinks in that line, and I don't think it necessarily will be quite that strong. So maybe just a touch overdone. And so by 1 a.m., again, that line stretching from near Albion and between midnight and 1, really, again, blasting through potentially the Grand Island area and beginning to push into the Hastings area as well. And then down into parts of north central Kansas. So if we step forward in time from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., that line continues to push pretty quickly off to the east. And again, beginning to push kind of into that Highway 81 corridor from up near Columbus, Columbus, Norfolk, Wayne area, back down kind of through Aurora, maybe Seward, and then back down just to the south of the Hastings area as well. And then between 2 a.m. 3 a.m., again, I think we start to see this begin to push into the Lancaster County area. We skipped forward there too fast. This is 3 a.m. Again, it's got it blowing through Lincoln and Lancaster County around 3 a.m. And again, this model and kind of some of the trends we've seen has kind of the southern end of this line, maybe not tailing off necessarily, but we see kind of the middle and northern end of this line maybe kind of becoming the more dominant portions of this squall line. And so that's something we'll continue to obviously closely watch as the night continues to wear on. But again, like I mentioned earlier, we're thinking for the Lincoln area between 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., somewhere in that time frame is when we would expect to see this line move through. And again, this is also the time that, again, those areas that have already seen heavy rain this week, Saunders County, Butler County, Dodge, Washington, Burt counties, Omaha metro area, potentially seeing some additional heavy rain. Again, the good news with this line is it's going to move through fairly quick, and that is what we like to see. So again, this is 3 a.m. If we go forward to 4 a.m., again, it's already kind of blasted through parts of northeastern Nebraska, still kind of lingering into parts of southeastern Nebraska, into the Lincoln area. By 5 a.m., there may be some lingering showers left, but certainly looks like the most damaging part, the most intense part of that line of storms is pushed over the border into parts of Iowa. By 6 a.m., again, maybe a lingering shower or two across the state, but otherwise fairly quiet. 7 a.m., looks like we should be dry as we start our Friday. 8 a.m., mostly sunny and mainly dry across the state. So again, I think by early tomorrow morning, maybe a lingering shower or two across the area, but I think as we head through the day on Friday, it's going to be mainly dry across the state. Going to be cooler, going to be breezy, but it should be mainly dry as we finish the work week and start the holiday weekend. So had another severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. Again, this is again kind of for that middle part of this line that we've been seeing intensify here over the last few minutes. This is going to be for parts of Greeley, Nance, Southeastern Valley, Sherman, northwestern Merrick and Howard County in central Nebraska, and this lasts until 12:45 a.m. Central Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Primrose to near Farewell, moving east at 35 miles an hour. Main hazards would be 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, as well as quarter-sized hail, as his radar indicated. Severe thunderstorms will be near St. Paul, Walbach, and Elba around midnight, so that's about 5 minutes or so. And then around Cushing at around 12:05 a.m. Other path locations of these severe thunderstorms include Palmer and Belgrade as well. So again, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible with that storm for parts of Greeley, Howard, Merrick, and Nance counties. Again, that includes cities of Fullerton, Greeley, Loop City, and St. Paul. And so that will, again, kind of replace the old warning there that's set to expire here in just about 5 minutes. Again, still watching closely, though, this line of storms and some really intense winds, at least on the radar. It's going to be just back to the west of Upland and Campbell. Move my radar back down here and zoom in just a little bit. And again, we still have this notch that we're still watching closely. I'm going to pause the radar. So again, looks like just along right now and to the west of Highway 10 that we're going to continue to keep a close eye on. Oh, and it looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning, another big warning. We really like these big warnings. So, this warning, a lot of counties in this one. I'm going to have to take a deep breath. It's going to be for parts of northern Smith County and north central Kansas, northern Phillips County and north central Kansas, Webster County, Adams County, western Hamilton County, Buffalo County, eastern Harlan County, Hall County, western Clay County, Franklin County, western Nuckolls County, eastern Phelps County, Kearney County, southern Sherman County, southwestern Merritt County, and southern Howard County in central Nebraska. Until 12:45 a.m. At 11:55, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles south of Bolas to near Franklin to near Phillipsburg, moving east at 55 miles an hour. These thunderstorms are moving. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are going to be possible. Severe thunderstorms will be near Wood River, Shelton, Franklin, Kennesaw, Cairo, Campbell, Hartwell, and Norman in just about 3 minutes, around midnight. Holstein, Riverton, and Prosser around 12:05. Juniata, Alda, Bladen, and Roseland around 12:10. Grand Island, Hastings, Doniphan, and Ayr around 12:15. Other locations in the path include Blue Hill, Hanson, Innavale, Phillips, Trumbull, Cowles, Rosemont, Red Cloud, Giltner, Glenville, Lawrence, Chapman, Inland, and Harvard. And we also need to, we have a tornado possible tag with this thunderstorm as well. So again, brief spin-up tornadoes possible at any moment with this line of thunderstorms as well. So again, that's something that we're going to continue to watch closely with this line. So again, it's that kind of spot, that little notch that we see in the radar that's almost directly west of the radar in Blue Hill that we would be kind of concerned with. Again, looks like right now it's kind of just crossing over Highway 10, so it's going to be just to the south and west of Campbell, just to the south and west of the Upland area as well, almost due south of the Minden area as well. And again, that's on the radar where we also see some really strong winds according to the radar. Again, several thousand feet up. And again, so far we haven't seen much ground truth to some of those severe winds, and I would hopefully like to keep it that way. But again, the radar, which again, the storm is getting pretty close to the radar, so the closer it gets, the lower that beam height gets, and the lower in the atmosphere it's actually measuring those winds, closer to the ground, is measuring those winds anywhere between about 65, 70, 80 miles an hour. And so again, we could see some pretty intense straight line winds with some of these storms, and again, that is likely going to be the primary hazard with some of these storms as we head over the next several hours, is some of these damaging straight line winds. So I'm really going to quick here. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. We're live right now in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Kind of watching all this. I'm kind of being a one-man band right now, and what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to send out a push notification to the folks who have the 1011 app and just let them know that we're here and that we're live. Let's see. Okay. I'm good, Jackson. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. So I sent that push notification. So, again, might have some more folks joining us now on the live stream. For anyone who just might be popping on now, again, it is late. This is 10:11 after dark. Appreciate you jumping on and joining us, keeping you covered as we head through the night tonight. Severe weather coverage as we have another round of strong to severe thunderstorms that are pushing across the state. Again, this is about the third time so far this week, just this week, that we've been dealing with severe weather across the 10-11 coverage areas. Not a huge fan of that. We certainly like to see a little bit of a longer break in the severe weather outbreaks than we've had, but unfortunately, that has just not been the case. And so, again, just kind of set the table if anyone might just be jumping on and joining us. Severe thunderstorm watch is in place for parts of central and eastern Nebraska through 4 a.m. on Friday. This includes, again, areas like Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, Lincoln, Seward, Fairbury, Omaha, Columbus, Norfolk, Wahoo. Again, some areas that have already been hit hard this week. Again, could potentially see another round of pretty strong thunderstorms as we head through the overnight hours tonight. You'll notice there's no severe thunderstorm watch for the southeastern sections of the state. So, again, Beatrice, Nebraska City, Falls City, not under any kind of severe watch just yet. We are kind of keeping an eye downstream on the potential for maybe another watch getting issued for those areas. But we're also expecting maybe the southern end of this line to not be quite as intense and dominant. And so we'll kind of have to wait and see if we see an additional watch issued as the night wears on that would cover parts of southeastern Nebraska and then also likely parts of southwestern Iowa as well. But yeah, at least for right now, again, some of those areas not included. Don't think that means that they won't see any rain. Also, again, while storms are going to be moving through pretty quickly, our main threats are likely going to be damaging winds. Could see some large hail, quarter to maybe a $50 sized hail with some of these storms. The overall threat for flooding isn't going to be too widespread as these storms are going to be moving through pretty quick. But because of the rain that we have already seen this week, we do still have a flood watch that's in place for areas kind of in east central, northeastern sections of the state, Omaha, Wahoo, over towards Columbus, up into, again, parts of northeastern Nebraska, Cumming, Burt counties, and those areas just to the south of Wayne. As again, those are the areas that saw 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain Monday and into Tuesday of earlier this week. And so, again, likely still have standing water left over from those storms. And, again, we could unfortunately see those areas get hit with another half an inch of rain with some of these thunderstorms as they move through, which is not what we want to see. Storm Prediction Center outlook looks like this. This will be an enhanced risk in orange. Again, that's level 3 out of 5. That means numerous severe thunderstorms are going to be possible. I should say areas kind of on the west side of this line. So areas like Lexington, Broken Bow, up towards kind of the O'Neill area. The severe weather threat for you guys has basically come and gone. as the line has already moved east of your area. So it's areas out ahead of this line, kind of stretching from down near Blue Hill, Red Cloud, up into Grand Island, Fullerton, St. Edward, Madison, Norfolk, Wayne, up towards Laurel in northeastern Nebraska that are still under the most immediate threat for severe weather as this line continues to push to the east and to the northeast. But there's that enhanced risk that covers a good chunk of the 10-11 coverage area. Again, our primary threats are likely going to be damaging winds, large hail, but we can't rule out an isolated tornado. This is the tornado probability for tonight, 5%. And again, we've been watching a couple kinks in this line of thunderstorms that's been pushing through. And again, really difficult to do at night, hard to see. People are asleep. And again, with this line, what tends to happen is we can get these really quick, brief spin-ups. Again, they usually don't last long, but again, it's nighttime, people are asleep, and, they may have a hard time getting the warning, and so that can lead to some not great situations. But tornado threat overall is fairly low, all things considered. Again, the greatest threat is going to be for those damaging wind gusts, and again, we could see winds gusting up to 60, 70, 75, maybe even 80 miles an hour on the high end. And again, large hail, quarter to maybe $half, maybe egg-sized hail possible with some of the stronger storms as well. And like I mentioned, the overall flood threat is there, but again, with how fast these storms are going to be moving, that it will help mitigate that more widespread flooding or flash flooding threat, save for those areas that got hit pretty hard earlier this week. So again, but we are watching a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in place. Again, this is the satellite and radar loop over the course of the last 4 hours. These storms, again, have started to pick up the pace and have really intensified over the last hour or so. Again, you can see especially along and just to the north of the interstate. And a report from producer Ryan Swanigan here, Nebraska Public Power, reporting that all of Alma is currently without power. That's approximately 750 customers right now in the Alma area that is currently without power. So that is not something that we particularly like to see. That could continue to be an issue as we head through this evening, though. Some power outages are certainly going to be possible with these damaging winds. Again, strong winds knock down power poles, and then all of a sudden, again, just like this report here, you have a whole entire small town that is currently without power. So again, that's Nebraska Public Power reporting all of Alma is without power. That's approximately 750 customers in the Alma area that are currently without power. So again, this is the statewide view satellite and radar. Like I was just mentioning, you can see sort of the middle part of this line, just along and to the north of the interstate, really has intensified quite a bit over the course of the last hour or so as these storms continue to move into a little bit more favorable environment. Again, unstable environment, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, low-level jets intensifying. Again, all of these things are adding to these storms becoming more widespread and intense as they move to the east. So if we jump on over here to the Storm Tracker radar again and look at a couple of these warnings, we're going to go ahead and pause the radar. But again, the big warning here, this covers, it's quite a few counties, but this covers parts of Smith and Phillips County in north central Kansas, Webster, Adams, Western Hamilton, Buffalo, Eastern Harlan, Hall, Western Clay, Franklin, Western Knuckles, Eastern Phelps, Kearney, Sherman, Merrick, and Southern Howard County in central Nebraska, and that goes until 12:45 a.m. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail, and a tornado are possible with this line of intense thunderstorms. Looks like getting some storm reports of winds gusting about 60 to 70 miles an hour near the Macon area, which, again, is not what we like to see. So I'm going to quickly... Oh, and it looks like we just had a tornado warning that was issued. Again, this was part of this line that we were mentioning and watching, but a tornado warning that was issued, and we can kind of see the kink in this line here that we've been talking about. This is a tornado warning. Let me pull it up here. Tornado warning for northwestern Adams, Kearney, Buffalo, and Hall County. So it's northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, southwestern Hall County until 12:45 a.m. At 12:08 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Hartwell, or 13 miles southeast of Kearney, moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. Tornado and quarter-sized hail will be possible. This dangerous storm will be near Hartwell at about 12:15 a.m., so about 6 minutes. Kennesaw around 12:20 a.m. in about 10 minutes, and the Prosser area at around 12:25, so in about 15 minutes. And so again, we can see this little notch in this line, this little kink. I can grab my pointer here. This little kink in this line, this is where we'd be concerned with that potential tornado. Pull up our velocity scope here, and ooh, yeah, right there. Right in here is where we'd be concerned with that potential tornado. I'll go ahead and clear that off, put this into motion, and I'm going to slow it down again just a skosh. So again, this is moving to the east and to the northeast. So again, folks in Kennesaw, this is going to be an immediate threat for you in the Kennesaw area. It looks like this potential circulation and potential tornado is tracking almost right along Highway 34, just to the west of Hastings. But if you're in this tornado-warned area, again, areas like Hartwell, Kennesaw, Prosser, or Shelton, you need to be in your safe place immediately. Again, basement is best. Don't have a basement, an interior room away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Again, it is dark. It's going to be hard to see this potential tornado if there's one there. So you need to be moving to your shelter and moving to your safe place as this tornado-warned storm continues to push through the area. So again, it looked like it was just along and to the north of Highway 34 is where the storm. It looks like meteorologist Brandon Rector is doing a cut-in. Let's join him and watch him live.
To let you know of a new tornado warning that has just been issued until 12:45 a.m. Again, this is a tornado warning until 12:45 a.m. for the following area: northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall counties. Again, this is a tornado warning for northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall counties. As we have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Hartwell, or 13 miles southeast of Kearney. It's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Quarter-size hail is also possible with this storm. If you bear with me a moment, it looks as though we have just gotten some new information on this tornado warning. Now getting a confirmed tornado. This is as of 12:11 a.m., so just a minute ago. A confirmed tornado was located over Hartwell, or 15 miles southeast of Kearney, and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So let's go a little closer in here and put Hartwell on there for you. You saw it there. Going to try to zoom in a little bit more here. So there's Hartwell, and making its way towards Kennesaw and eventually up towards Prosser. So all included in this tornado warning. Again, for northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall counties. Latest update from the National Weather Service: a tornado warning is in effect until 12:45 a.m. as a confirmed tornado just a few minutes ago, was located over Hartwell and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Quarter-size hail is possible with this storm as well. I'll stop the loop here, and you'll see that it's right near Hartwell where you have that rotation, that hook that you can see in the radar signature there. What I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and circle it here for you. I'm talking about this area right in here. Well, now that just moved, so bear with me a moment as I try to reset here. We do have, again, this tornado warning in case you're just joining us. So I'd be most concerned probably in this area right here, right around Hartwell, where we have that little notch, that little hook there within the radar echo. And you'll notice, again, this is moving off towards the northeast. at about 45 miles per hour, and that is the latest with that tornado warning. Again, going until 12:45 a.m. It looks as though we have another tornado warning, so going to stick with you here for a few minutes while we gather all the latest information here with this latest tornado warning. This going until 12:45 a.m. as this is for northeastern Franklin, northern Webster, southern Adams, and southeastern Kearney counties. We have a tornado warning until 12:45 a.m. So this warning, as you can see, would include Campbell towards Blue Hill and Roseland. This is until 12:45 a.m. as a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Campbell and moving east at 50 miles per hour. So again, this is a new tornado warning that has just been issued for northeastern Franklin, northern Webster, southern Adams, and southeastern Kearney counties until 12:45 a.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Campbell and moving east at 50 miles per hour. So we have that warning, and again, that warning that is just to the north there, that does include northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall counties until 12:45 a.m. As we got the latest update from the Weather Service just about 4 minutes ago of a confirmed tornado located near Hartwell and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So we'll try to get Hartwell back on there for you. There it is. So this storm will be making its way towards Kennesaw, and then it looks as though Prosser also in this tornado warning up towards Shelton. You are included in this tornado warning as well. Could see some quarter-size hail with that storm as it also continues to move off towards northeast in addition to that tornado. So we're talking about Hartwell, Kennesaw, Prosser, and Hanson, all included in that tornado warning that goes until 12:45. We'll show you here also that we do have basically a line of strong to severe thunderstorms making its way across the area at this time, mainly in central Nebraska. We'll talk about a couple of the other severe thunderstorm warning that is outside of that tornado warning. Those two tornado warnings are essentially within a large area of a severe thunderstorm warning that includes northern Smith, northern Phillips, Webster, Adams, western Hamilton, Buffalo, eastern Harlan, Hall, western Clay, Franklin, western Nuckolls, eastern Phelps, Kearney, southern Sherman, southwestern Merrick, and southern Howard counties until 12:45 a.m. So not only do we have this potential for tornadoes within some of these storms, but also 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So you can see the storms there. It looks like it's exiting Alma, but towards Franklin and Red Cloud, and then just to the north of Phillipsburg there as well. We also do have a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:45 a.m. that includes Greeley, Nance, southeastern Valley, Sherman, northwestern Merrick, and Howard counties until 12:45 a.m. This severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So it looks like those storms right now around St. Paul heading towards Fullerton and Central City. This line is, it looks like at this time, that part of the line moving east at about 35 miles per hour. Do want to recap that we have that severe thunderstorm watch going until until 4 a.m. on Friday morning for much of central eastern Nebraska and part of northern Kansas as well. So not only do we have that possibility of large hail and damaging winds, but as we have seen throughout the evening, the possibility of some isolated tornadoes. Do want to mention that we have a flood watch that continues until 10 a.m. Friday morning. For those of you in Columbus, Fremont, Wahoo, Omaha, Tacoma. This is the area that had several inches of rain just days ago, so it would not take much in the way of rain to potentially get some flooding going again. So again, that flood watch until 10 a.m. Friday morning, as we still have a line of thunderstorms making its way eastward across central. Now it looks like into northeastern Nebraska a little bit there, heading towards Norfolk and just to the west of Columbus. That line extends all the way down into north central Kansas. You can see that there. And it looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. So let's get to that. And while we're with you, we'll slide the map up to the north here as this looks to include Albion and Petersburg. This severe thunderstorm warning going until 1 a.m. for western Madison, western Platte, southeastern Antelope, and Boone counties until 1 a.m. The severe thunderstorm warning looks like 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail possible as this part of the line of thunderstorms is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So it looks like that warning right around Albion at this time is where we have those storms, but they are making their way eventually towards Norfolk, Madison, Tarnoff, Columbus. Heads up. We'll just go down the line here. It looks like storms are making their way towards Fullerton, Central City, eventually in that Highway 81 corridor around Stromsburg, York, Geneva, Bruning, also Hebron, Superior. Heads up. This is thunderstorm. This line is making its way towards you over the next couple of hours as we have this activity that has been with us throughout the evening, developed in the Panhandle and into western Nebraska. We've had several warnings with this line of storms, especially around southwestern, south central Nebraska and a part of northern Kansas. It's really been the southern half of this line where we've had the severe thunderstorms, but now beginning to see north central and northeastern Nebraska. So this activity has been picking up. So we are talking about some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, up to half-dollar size hail some of these storms. And again, the reason broke into programming was because of the tornado warnings that we have associated with these storms right now. The tornado warning for northeastern Franklin, northern Webster, southern Adams, and southeastern Kearney counties going until 12:45 a.m. And you can see that that one is around Campbell towards Blue Hill and Roseland included in that. And then we have the tornado warning also for northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, as well as southwestern Hall counties as that warning goes until 12:45 a.m. And the latest update that we had on that one was that there was a confirmed tornado located over Hartwell or 15 miles southeast of Kearney, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So you can see it looks as though that storm is making its way towards Kennesaw at this time. So heads up in your area, also towards Prosser. You're in that tornado warning. And then eventually up towards Hanson, we could see this storm moving through your area as well. So we have this tornado warning and the other one as well just to the south of it that includes portions includes Roseland, Blue Hill, and Campbell. So we have tornado warning, northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, southwestern Hall until 12:45 a.m. and also until 12:45 a.m. Tornado warning for northeastern Franklin, northern Webster, southern Adams, and southeastern Kearney counties as we have these storms that are capable of producing tornadoes. One we have observed right now that was near Hartwell. Still waiting to see. I'm going to hang with you for just a few more minutes here just to see if we get any more new updates with these tornado warnings. Just want to give you the very latest information as it comes out from the National Weather Service. Of course, we're keeping you up to date. Bottom of your screen with the information as well. And then I've been breaking into programming as necessary throughout the night. We're also keeping you updated on our 1011 weather app. We also you can check out our streaming as well on the app, as well as the on our 1011 news app. Also on the website, the weather page on 1011now.com. We also want to make sure that you have multiple reliable ways to get that severe weather information tonight. I'm updating you on television. Also have that weather radio turned on. If you're heading off to bed and the storms have not moved into your area yet, you're into eastern Nebraska, you definitely want to make sure you got that weather radio turned on as well. Make sure you get alerted as the severe weather continues to move through the area. Going to see if we have any other new information for you. Again, the reason we're breaking into programming is because we had the tornado warnings issued for portions of south central Nebraska as we have this line of strong to severe thunderstorms making its way through central Nebraska, north central Kansas right now, eventually going to get into eastern Nebraska as we head through the next few hours. Looks like latest information we have for one of the tornado warnings continues. It looks like this would be for north central Webster and southern Adams counties. So that would be the southern tornado warning, the one closest to the bottom of your screen that would be between Roseland and Blue Hill at this time. This is latest that we have on this is a severe squall line capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage. Was located near Bladen, or 18 miles southwest of Hastings, and moving east at 50 miles per hour. So again, we have this tornado warning in effect till 12:45 a.m. as we have not only this from the National Weather Service, a severe squall line capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage, located near Bladen, or 18 miles southwest of Hastings, and moving east at 50 miles per hour. Looks as though the tornado warning was just canceled for those of you in northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall counties. That warning was going until 12:45 a.m. Looks as though we are seeing that warning again has been canceled. So there's some good news that tornado warning for northwestern Adams, northeastern Kearney, southeastern Buffalo, and southwestern Hall has been canceled. That was set to go for 20 more minutes, but it looks as though the tornadic signature there is gone. So the National Weather Service has canceled that warning, but we still have the tornado warning going for portions of Adams and Webster counties. I believe we can go to one of our sky views right now if we can take a look at that. Which one are we looking at here? This is the Hastings sky view looking to the west right now. So you can see quite the light show going on. It looks like a lot of lightning. Some heavy rain as well, as we do have again this line of storms just to the west of Hastings. So it is making its way towards Hastings, Doniphan, Blue Hill, right along that Highway 281 corridor. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for much of south central Nebraska, including Grand Island, Doniphan, Hastings, Blue Hill, Roseland. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail as that line is moving east at about 55 miles per hour. So we do have, again, not only this possibility of the tornado there between Roseland and Blue Hill, but also some straight line winds and some hail up to quarter size, it looks like at this time. All right, so there's your Hastings sky view right now. We're looking off towards the west. That line of storms is making its way towards the area. Let's go back to the radar if we can. Just kind of give everyone a little indication as to what's going on here. I'll take out the wide view here for a moment, just show you this line of strong to severe thunderstorms making its way eastward. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning there into northeastern Nebraska. This would include northwestern Madison, northwestern Wayne, Pierce, southeastern Antelope, southeastern Knox, and southern Cedar counties going into 1:15 a.m. Line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Moving off, it looks like some of those individual storms moving northeast at 40 miles per hour, but you'll notice the overall line moving east, but those individual storms within the line with a bit of a northeastward movement. So we're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Let me get back to a little more zoomed-in view there, and we'll just go down the line. We'll start in northeastern Nebraska here with that latest warning. This would include, again, northwestern Madison, northwestern Wayne, Pierce, southeastern Antelope, southeastern Knox, and southern Cedar counties until 1:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorm located 5 miles north of Pierce, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. It's capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. That is one other thing to note. This line is picking up pace right now. These storms earlier in the evening were moving at about 15 to 30 miles per hour. We're talking 40 to 50 miles per hour now with this thunderstorm activity. We'll move a little farther to the southeast here and take a look at this warning that includes Albion. Portions of Antelope, Boone, Madison, Platte counties. We're talking about half-dollar size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with that part of the line right now. We move a little more to the south there. You can see the storms making their way towards Fullerton, St. Paul, Central City. So that's part of Greeley, Howard, Merrick, Nance counties. Quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Again, that line making its way towards Fullerton and Central City at this time. And then we move a little farther to the south. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning that includes several counties. I'll just go ahead and mention some of the communities that are in there. Grand Island, Kearney, Hastings, Mendon, We've got 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. That warning going until 12:45. And then you can see we also have that tornado warning going until 12:45 a.m. as we had a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado there in the portions of Adams and Webster counties. And then you can see the storms around Franklin, Red Cloud, and back near Phillipsburg in northern Kansas. That's also part of that large warning area that is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So we'll zoom in here a little bit. Going to be tough to tell exactly the strength of some of this activity right now as this line is making its way towards Blue Hill where the radar site is, but there is that bit of, you can see just a little bit of a notch, that hook just to the northwest of Blue Hill right now. That's where I'd be most concerned with the potential at a tornado at this time. And so just trying to see if anything from the National Weather Service, any kind of update there. Does not look like we have a new update for that tornado warning other than what I just spoke about just moments ago. I guess probably more than a few minutes ago now, depending on how long you've been with me here as breaking into programming. Because of we had 2 tornado warnings, now down to 1, so there's good news. But we are going to continue this possibility of severe weather as we go throughout the night, as we do have that severe thunderstorm watch in place until 4 a.m. Friday. So we've still got about another 3.5 hours on that watch. That includes much of eastern Nebraska, central Nebraska, and a part of north central Kansas. Also the flood watch till 10 a.m. Friday morning for part of eastern Nebraska, that area that had several inches of rain earlier this week from around Columbus towards Fremont, Wahoo, Omaha, Tacoma, just to name a few communities included in that flood watch. Once again, here is that line of thunderstorms making its way eastward at this time. Some of the individual storms moving northeast, but that thunderstorm line is now pretty much stretching from I-70 just to the west-northwest of Hays there in Kansas, all the way up into southeastern South Dakota right now is this line of storms. You can see all the warnings that we have right now with this line stretching from just west of Norfolk, Columbus, through Grand Island and Hastings and into north central Kansas. So we do have this activity. Just got this report. According to Nebraska Public Power, all of Alma is without power, so roughly 750 customers. This caused by the same cell that is currently where that warning is right now for the tornado warning. So again, we have apparently all of Alma without power, according to the Nebraska Public Power. As we do have, let's go to that warning, just to kind of show you where we have that tornado warning right now is for portions of Adams and Webster County. So this warning does include, see if we can get a few more communities in here for you. It looks like near Air, you're included in this warning. It's just north of Blue Hill and Bladen. So it looks like Air included in that tornado warning. And it looks as though Webster County, this is the latest coming out from the National Weather Service. The tornado warning has been canceled for Webster, but does continue there for part of Adams County until 12:45 a.m. as we still have this line capable of producing tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage right now entering Air and moving east at 60 miles per hour. So again, this line is really picking up the pace right now, some of these storms within this line. So there's a look at what we have with that. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Wanted to stay with you until we got that latest update on the tornado warning. So it seems as though we don't have confirmation of anything on the ground. It's just radar indicated rotation, but still we have seen tornadoes form in just moments. We have had reports earlier tonight of some tornadoes within some of these storms. So you definitely need to remain on guard if you are along or east of this line of activity making its way through northeastern central Nebraska, south central Nebraska, and into north central Kansas. So heads up, Norfolk, Columbus, Seward, York, Lincoln, Beatrice, Omaha. We're eventually going to get this line moving through our area Just going to take a few more hours to get here, it looks like, especially towards, say, Lincoln, Seward, York. Probably within the next couple of hours, this line will be moving through. So there's your early heads up about that line still going to continue to make its way eastward across the area. So that's the very latest that I have for you here from the 1011 Weather Center. Going to continue to keep you updated with information at the bottom of the screen. I'll break back into programming as necessary throughout this, well, now that we're at 12:33 a.m., this early Friday morning. But if you want some more severe weather information right now, meteorologist Bill Rentschler will be streaming, keeping you up to date on all of our platforms. So if you want to check that out on the 1011 News app, weather app, or just go to 1011now.com and check out our streaming there as well. Bill will keep you up to date on the very latest as we continue to keep things monitored for you here in the 1011 Weather Center. But for now, if you're watching us on television, I'll get you back to your regular scheduled programming.
All right, we were listening to meteorologist Brandon Rector there again, who's doing cut in a couple of those tornado warnings, and again wanted to take you back to the tornado warning that is currently in place. This is across areas just to the south of Hastings. And so this is going to be southeastern Adams County. And again, I brought up our radar scope program again because, again, it is very nice to be able to show the radar with the velocity at the same time. So right now, this storm and this area of concern in this couplet is basically right on top of the radar site, which is at Blue Hill, just a little bit south of Hastings. And so, again, the red colors that you see here are indicative of winds that are moving away from the radar, while the green colors are indicative of winds that are moving towards the radar. So again, that's what you're seeing here is where these winds are meeting, and this is where we're concerned with the potential that there could be a brief spin-up tornado. It's made a little bit more difficult because it is so close to the radar that, again, you can see we have a little bit of a hole there where the radar is kind of blind. Again, that's why the radar is in Blue Hill and not in Hastings. That's why the radar is in Valley and not in Omaha, so that hole isn't over a more populated area. But, again, you can see some... Right now, the couplet not quite as strong as it was just a few minutes ago, but again, the radar is measuring some really intense winds, and again, these are right near the surface again because because the storm is basically right over the top of the radar, and again, sampling some of these winds according to the radar. According to the radar, at least. Again, there's winds of 70, 80, 90, close to 100 miles an hour with this cluster of storms that is just to the north and to the east of the Blue Hill area, just to the south of the Air area. So, again, some really intense winds with this storm, not very far off the ground. And so, again, that would make us tend to believe that, again, as those winds mix down to the surface, that we could potentially be seeing some pretty intense winds at the surface. We haven't had a ton of widespread reports of at the ground of some of these intense winds. We've seen some reports 60, 70 mile an hour winds. But again, on the high end, I think some of these storms could produce tonight 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts at the ground. So that is something we're going to continue to monitor as we head over the next few hours. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to punch my weather graphics back in here, and again, you can see that tornado warning again for parts of Adams County, City of Air. Again, radar indicated right now. No ground reports that would indicate that there potentially is a tornado on the ground with that just yet. But again, can happen very, very quickly. So again, it's basically just crossing over the Highway 281 corridor, just to the basically right on top of the Highway 281 corridor, just to the south of the Hastings area at this time right now. So that's the most concerning storm. We did just have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. This would be, I'm starting to get a lot of warnings here all kind of clustered together. See if I can get it here. Zoom in even more, maybe. Hard to do it. Okay, but it's a new warning, and it's going to be for parts of Nance County, northeastern Hamilton County, Merritt County, and Polk County until 1:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending 6 miles south of St. Edward to near Central City, moving to the east at 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to just punch up a statewide view of the radar right now, so we can see this line over the course of the last several hours. And again, it's moving east at 35 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail going to be possible with those thunderstorms. It will be near Central City in just the next minute or two, around 12:40 a.m., Genoa, Clarks, and Hordeville around 12:45. Other locations included are Silver Creek and Polk, obviously in Polk County. But again, those folks need to be on the awares for the potential for some strong winds heading into their area here in just the next few minutes. So yeah, we have a pretty intense line of thunderstorms, and again, as you heard Brandon was saying, this whole line for the state of Nebraska is now warned. And again, we're still a few miles away. I'm going to pause the radar here. Break out my measuring tool here, and these storms are still about 80 to 90 miles to the west of Lincoln, but again moving anywhere between 40 to 50 to 55 miles an hour, and so they'll likely probably push through the Lincoln area right around 2 a.m. maybe. Between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. is when we're thinking these could start to impact the Lincoln and Lancaster County area. And so for folks in that neck of the woods, again, a lot of folks are sleeping. That's the really difficult part about these nighttime events, is that it's hard to get people the information because, again, it's dark, people are asleep, and hopefully folks, again, have a good way to get their information tonight as some of these warnings continue to push on through the area. But again, Brandon also mentioned it, but if we zoom out even further, we now have this whole line of storms that basically stretch from the I-70 corridor in parts of Kansas all the way up to the Nebraska-South Dakota border into northeastern parts of the state. And this line has been pretty impressive. Again, if you joined us earlier, again, we mentioned it, but again, the northern half of this line was rather disorganized, unimpressive, but over the course of the last hour, really has strengthened and intensified quite a bit, and again, now basically has warnings all along the whole entire line. Looks like report 60-mile-an-hour wind gust from the Westbrook area, just to the west of Hastings, near the Juniata area. That was from about 10 minutes ago as that line of storms moved on through. So I want to go back to the storm tracker radar here because I kind of want to go through a couple areas. Again, we still have the tornado warning that's in place for about another 5 minutes. Radar indicated. Again, haven't really seen any updates on that tornado warning. Let's see. They're just saying now that the tornado warning for southeastern Adams County will expire at 12:45. The tornado threat has diminished and the tornado warning has been canceled. However, damaging winds remain likely and a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for the area. So again, that tornado warning will expire at 12:45 here, but they're just not canceling it because there is an area of intense winds that are basically in that tornado warning area, and so they want to make sure people, stay safe from that. Looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued. All right, so again, we're starting to get pretty far out there. Let me see if we can't get that one queried. So this new severe thunderstorm warning covers, again, a pretty big area here. Oh boy, okay, all right. Northern Jewell County in north central Kansas, northern Smith County in north central Kansas, northeastern Phillips County in north central Kansas, Webster County in south central Nebraska, Adams County, Hamilton County, eastern Buffalo County, southern Polk County, Hall County, Clay County, Franklin County, Nuckolls County, eastern Kearney County, York County, Fillmore County, Thayer County, southwestern Merritt County, and southern Howard County until 1:15 Central Time. At 12:37, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Chapman to near Trumbull to near Lawrence to 6 miles north of Kensington, moving east at 60 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail will be possible. Severe thunderstorms will be near Aurora, Red Cloud, Harvard, Fairfield, Giltner, Glenville, Lawrence, Marquette, Inland, and Deweese around, that's right now, basically, Clay Center, Nelson, and Guide Rock around 12:45. Sutton, Edgar, Hampton, Sarenville, and Stockham around 12:50. Henderson, Bradshaw, Oak, and Ong around 12:55. So again, in just the next few minutes. So again, that is a pretty sizable severe thunderstorm warning there, and you can see that covers quite a bit of real estate. Again, some of the bigger cities included in that warning are Aurora, Grand Island, Hastings, and York. And again, the storm itself, again, they're saying is moving 60 miles an hour. So it makes sense that then 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts would potentially be possible. This is the part of the storm, this whole line, that, again, it's moving east. This is the part of that line that could potentially impact Lincoln and Lancaster County and other areas downstream as we head through the rest of the overnight period. So, again, hopefully folks in Lincoln are getting a heads up that these severe thunderstorms are potentially going to be heading your way. So I'm going to pause the radar here. I kind of just want to go kind of south to north here and take a look at kind of the communities that this line of storms is going to be impacting here in just the next few minutes. So again, Superior, Nelson, Fairfield, kind of along Highway 14 there, Harvard, Henderson, Aurora, Stromsburg, Silver Creek, Columbus, Woodville, Humphrey, Madison, Clarkson, Norfolk, Winside, Wayne, Laurel, and up into extreme northeastern Nebraska, eventually Ponca. But again, all of those municipalities, again, are under the immediate threat as these storms are going to be pushing through those areas in just the next few minutes. So, again, that's something we're going to continue to watch. I'm going to punch up here, see if, getting a report now from the air area of 60 to 65 mile-an-hour winds in the air area. So, again, those winds, again, really intensifying pretty quickly. The Omaha office, again, saying the entire line is going to have potential for damaging straight-line winds and spin-up tornadoes, which, again, we've talked about. Watching Platte, Colfax, Butler County for areas of greatest concern over the next hour or so. So, again, we'll continue to watch that. And another report of maybe some additional power outages in the Hastings area as well. So again, that will could potentially be an issue as the night wears on with the damaging straight line winds. Often is accompanied with these power outages. Again, a couple power lines go down from some of the strong winds, and then all of a sudden, again, you got a lot of people without power. So again, we'll kind of go through the list here. Again, I just mentioned kind of some of the cities that were kind of in the line here, but want to go through the warnings. Again, this is into the northeastern corner of the state: Cedar, Knox, Madison, Pierce County. So again, this includes Hardington, Laurel, Pierce, Tilden. Severe thunderstorm warning till 1:15 a.m. Quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible with that storm. A little bit further to the south, this covers parts of Antelope, Boone, Madison, and Platte County. So we're talking cities of Albion, Battle Creek, Newman Grove, St. Edward. That severe thunderstorm warning is in place until 1 a.m. Half-dollar-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible with that storm. And it looks like we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. This is going to be parts of Madison, Stanton, Thurston, and Wayne counties. Let's see, Madison, Wayne, northwestern Cumming, southeastern Pierce, northwestern Thurston, southeastern Cedar, and Stanton County until 1:30 a.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 2 miles northeast of Belden to 3 miles east of Hayter to 5 miles northeast of Newman Grove, moving east at 35 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and quarter-sized hail. Locations impacted include Norfolk, Wayne, Madison, Stanton, Wakefield, Battle Creek, Wisner, Pender, Laurel, Emerson, Newman Grove, Winside, Pilger, Hayter, Hoskins, Carroll, Thurston. Those are the main areas. With that storm, again, that storm continues to push to the east at about 35 miles an hour. Again, if we kind of continue our trek down further to the south, again, just kind of mention this one, Antelope, Boone, Madison, Platte County. A little bit further to the south, if we keep going, Adams, Fillmore, Hall, York. Again, that was also one of the newer warnings that was issued. Again, covers a pretty wide area there, all the way down into parts of northeastern Kansas. That warning is until 1:15 Central Time. Quarter-sized hail, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts going to be possible with those storms as well. So again, we'll kind of zoom out, look at it as a whole. Again, you can see a pretty impressive line. I want to go back to my radar scope here and just take a look at this. And again, don't see any areas that are overly concerning at this point for the potential for a quick spin-up tornado. Don't really see much in the way of any couplets out there. But again, that's the deal with these lines. It's just a small little kink in that line. You get a small little spin-up tornado, and they can happen really quick. They can be hard to spot, hard to identify, and difficult to get a warning on sometimes. So again, folks need to have kind of their eyes and ears about them as this line of storms moves on through. Let's see. So, report from 2 miles east-northeast of Hastings. National Weather Service employee reports a large tree was uprooted at his next-door neighbor's house. So some wind damage reports there from in the Hastings area in Adams County. Large tree uprooted from someone's house there, which unfortunately is not something that we like to see there. So again, I'll go back to the statewide view here, satellite and radar picture. This is the loop over the last 4 hours. These storms started a while ago. I was mowing my lawn, and my watch kept buzzing and telling me there was a tornado warning, and tornado warning, and tornado warning. And that was the activity that was in and around the North Platte area, just to the west of the North Platte area, over towards Ogallala. And again, had a lot of activity with that cluster of storms. And then they've just continued to push to the east and are trekking right now at a pretty good pace. And again, this is kind of what we had maybe expected to happen. This cluster, this line, squall line of thunderstorms has developed, and damaging winds, the primary threat right now. But again, we've seen the potential for a brief spin-up tornado with some of these. Also, some large hail could possibly be mixed in with some of these stronger cells as well. But again, this line is going to continue to push to the east for Lancaster County. Again, we're just coming up on 1 a.m. here. And this line of storms is still about 80 miles off to our west. But again, moving at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. So it's probably going to be moving through the Lincoln area probably close to the 2 a.m. time frame, maybe a little after 2 a.m. Friday morning. So we have about an hour, I think, or so left if you have the garbage can out or whatever. Again, I know a lot of folks are sleeping. This is 10, 11 after dark right now. But you have about an hour before these thunderstorms really push into the area. Another storm report just to pass along. Again, this is just from the Hastings Airport. Their ASOS sensor measured a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust at the Hastings Airport. And I'm actually going to punch up here. See if we can't punch this up. And actually just take a look at the wind gusts across the state. Another storm report, Adams County, 2 miles south of Air, a 66-mile-an-hour wind gust reported. So, again, these are some of those strong winds that we were talking about mixing down to the surface. So, again, this is just a few minutes before 1 o'clock, and these are the wind gusts being reported across the area. And, again, you can see 48 miles an hour right now at the Grand Island Airport, 58 miles an hour at the Hastings Airport. Still, and again, the line's already moved through Kearney at this point, but they still have wind gusts up to around 52 miles an hour at the Kearney Airport. Again, Lincoln right now gusting to 29 miles an hour out of the south, but as these storms move through, we will obviously see those winds swing around more to the west and to the northwest as well. Looks like we just had another severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. This is going to be for parts of Butler, Colfax, and Platte County. Butler, Colfax, and Platte County includes cities of Clarkson, Columbus, and Humphrey. And let's see, at 12:50, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 2 miles north of Lindsay to 4 miles northwest of Silver Creek, moving east at 40 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail are going to be possible with these storms. Locations impacted include Columbus, Humphrey, Clarkson, Bellwood, Lee, Duncan, Platte Center, Monroe, Lindsay, Creston, Richland, Lakeview, Tarnov, Cornley, College, Camp Pawnee, So again, a number of locations there across parts of Butler, Colfax, and Platte County. Quarter-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts going to be possible with that line of thunderstorms as it continues to push to the east at about 40 miles an hour. Let's see. What else? Another report, 4 miles southwest of Hastings, 58-mile-an-hour wind gust. Again, we kind of saw that when we looked at our wind gust map. So again, starting to kind of get warnings on top of warnings a little bit here, which again kind of can happen. We're getting ready to kind of see this line of storms cross over from the National Weather Service Hastings office to the National Weather Service Omaha office. So again, sometimes when that happens, we can get some overlap in some of our warnings. But again, a number of severe thunderstorm warnings, basically all of them for the potential for some damaging winds. And the potential for a brief spin-up tornado. Again, this big warning, it looks like it's been trimmed up a little bit in south-central sections of the state. It remains in effect until 1:15 for northern Jewell, northern Smith, east central Phillips, Webster, Adams, Hamilton, southern Polk, Hall, Clay, southeastern Franklin, Nuckolls, York, Fillmore, Thayer, southwestern Merrick, southern Howard counties. At 12:51, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Hordeville to near Stockham to near Nelson to 8 miles north of Bel Air. Moving east at 60 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail will be possible. Severe storms will be near Sutton, Henderson, Edgar, Nelson, Hampton, Bradshaw, Guide Rock, Oak, Ong, and Sarenville in the next minute. Davenport, Grafton, and Lushton around 1 a.m., so about 5 minutes. York, McCool Junction, Shickley, Benedict, Carlton, and Nora around 1:05. Geneva, Fairmont, Strang, Bostwick around 1:10. Exeter, Bruning, Waco, Gresham, Ruskin around 1:15. Superior, Milligan, and Ohio around 1:20. And Belvedere around 1:25. And they also did include a tornado possible tag with that thunderstorm, which again, we've seen this already tonight with this line, and actually, so again, and we're seeing it again. I'm going to punch up my radar scope program, again, which is nice. Again, on the right side, you have the velocities measured by the radar. On the left side, you actually have the reflectivity. And again, what I want you to see here is this little notch that's, again, basically right over the Fairfield area. Clay Center, just to the south of Clay Center. It's, again, these little notches, these little kinks in the line where we can sometimes get these couplets to form, and, again, we can get a brief spin-up tornado. So, again, on the velocity signatures on the right side, the red colors are indicative of winds moving away from the radar. The green colors are indicative of winds going towards the radar. So, again, right now the radar is over here in Blue Hill, right back here, and so we see strong winds, the red colors here, moving away from the radar. But again, measuring and sampling some of these winds, again, which are a couple thousand feet off the ground, but we're measuring winds upwards of about 80 miles an hour or so, just to the south of Fairfield, basically moving into the Edgar area, just to the west of Ong. Again, these are some very strong winds aloft, and again, the concern is that some of those could potentially mix down to the surface. So again, that's where we see that potential for some damaging winds at the surface of 60, 70, 75 miles an hour. And again, it looks like some of those stronger winds right now basically over the Fairfield area, over the Edgar area, just to the west of Ong. That's in kind of the southern parts of Clay County. But again, no visible or necessarily circulation or couplet in there that I'm overly concerned about at this point. But again, they did put that tornado possible tag in that warning, and so that is something that we'll look for. We'll go ahead and turn off the velocity. I'll show you here on the radar. You'll notice this little faint line out ahead of some of these storms. That is the gust front with these storms. That is, again, the cool air that the rain is bringing down to the surface, hits the ground, and then spreads out. So that is the gust front, sort of the cold pool with these thunderstorms that can sometimes race out ahead by a few miles of the line of thunderstorms. And so again, what often happens is we see the gust front move through first, winds turn to the north or to the northwest. It gets noticeably cooler as that rain-cooled air rushes out ahead of the storm, and then you could potentially see some damaging winds with that gust front. And then as the main line of storms themselves move through, you could potentially see another round of damaging winds. So areas like in Superior, Ruskin, Oak, Davenport could potentially be seeing that gust front kind of move through here as we head over the next few minutes. So that is something, again, we'll watch closely. Again, kind of just going through some of these towns that are, going to see this line of storms move through in just the next few minutes. Put the radar into motion here so we can loop this radar. But again, Superior, Ruskin, Davenport, Shickley, Geneva, Sutton, Grafton, Henderson, Bradshaw, folks in York, Benedict, Stromsburg, Osceola, Silver Creek, Genoa, seeing this line move in, Columbus, Bellwood, Platte Center, Tarnov, Humphrey, Madison, Stanton, up towards Wayne. Again, you folks are going to see this line begin to move through here in just the next few minutes. Switch my radar over here to the Omaha radar so we can get a little better view of some of these storms in northeastern Nebraska. Get up near Ponca, Allen, in parts of Dixon County there. Again, so a pretty stout line of thunderstorms currently pushing across the state for what feels like the umpteenth time now so far this week. So let's see here. Some good news again, and I should say, I have this line punched up here, and anyone who is west of this line of thunderstorms, so areas that have already seen this line of thunderstorms move on through. My radar loads up here. So like Kearney, O'Neill area, across parts of Garfield, Valley, Sherman counties, Buffalo County, you will likely get dropped from this severe thunderstorm watch here in just the next few minutes. Actually, the Weather Service saying that they're working on dropping some of those counties. Whoop, I went too far, apparently. Working on dropping some of those counties from the watch right now. So that is good news as, again, this line continues to move from west to east across the state. We will see some of these counties get dropped from this watch as the line continues to push on through. But again, for those areas here shaded in this pink color, that is the severe thunderstorm watch that is in place through 4 a.m. for another 3 hours, 4 a.m. Friday morning. And we'll stay with you here as we stream live from the 1011 Now streaming studio, streaming on our live stream platforms, 1011now.com, all of our streaming apps, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV. You can punch us up on the 1011 Weather app, 1011 News app, and also streaming live right now on YouTube. We will likely stay with you as these storms at least move through the Lincoln area, which, again, we're thinking is probably going to be about the next hour or so. And then meteorologist Brad Anderson is going to have you covered on the morning show coming up in just a few hours, starting at 5 a.m. Okay, let's see here. I'll go back to our radar because it looks like we did have... looks like they trimmed up one of our severe thunderstorm warnings. They continued it for parts of Cedar, Madison, Pierce, and Wayne counties in northeastern Nebraska. So let's go ahead and scroll up here. That goes for another 15 minutes or so till 1:15. Again, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds possible with that storm. At 1:01 a.m., severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from 3 miles northeast of Meckling to 8 miles south of Maskell to 3 miles west of Carroll, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail possible with that storm. And it looks like, I'm just going to go back to my watch now because we did have some of those counties dropped from that watch. So let me change this up here. There we go. So you can see those changes. So they canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Buffalo, Dawson, Furnace, Gosper, Greeley, Harlan, Howard, Kearney, Phelps, Sherman, and Valley counties. And again, it remains in effect for everyone else there until 4 a.m. on Friday morning. So again, Lincoln and Lancaster County still included in that watch until 4 a.m. Also areas like Omaha, Wahoo, Columbus, Norfolk, and down towards Grand Island and Hastings. But again, these strong storms have just really moved through the Grand Island and Hastings area. They're likely still dealing with some rain and maybe a little bit of wind and lightning. But again, the severe threat for areas like Grand Island and Hastings has basically come to an end at this point. So that is the good news. But again, it's still areas out ahead of this line of thunderstorms that we continue to be concerned with. Damaging winds continue to be the primary threat with these storms as they continue to move through. But again, like you've heard us mention several times now, isolated spin-up tornado can't be ruled out with a lot of these storms. Doesn't take much. A little kink in that line, a little quick couplet. You get a brief spin-up tornado. Could certainly do some damage. Usually don't last very long. But again, like I said, can do some damage. It's nighttime. Folks are asleep. It can be tough to get their warnings and get their information. All right, looks like we had another severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. So let's punch the warnings back up. And this one here, starting to get close, at least, to Lancaster County. We're going up right up to the border. Let's see. So this is southwestern Colfax, southeastern Platte, northern Seward, Butler County, and northwestern Saunders County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45. At 1:03 a.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Duncan to 4 miles northwest of Shelby to 4 miles northeast of Bradshaw, moving east at 50 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are going to be possible with this storm as it pushes through the area. Locations impacted include Seward, David City, Utica, Bellwood, Rising City, Duncan, Brainerd, Staplehurst, Garland, Dwight, B., Ulysses, Octavia, Bruno, Linwood, Aby, Surprise, Garrison, Camp Pawnee, and Tamora. So again, that's parts of Butler, Colfax, Seward County till 1:45. 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail possible with that thunderstorm. A couple other reports to show you. Again, we had talked about in parts of Clay County some of those strong winds, and we had mentioned Edgar. 2 miles north of Edgar in Clay County reported a 66-mile-an-hour wind gust. Also, 3 miles east-southeast Fairfield in Clay County reported a 63-mile-an-hour wind gust. North Shelby, western New York. Let me see here. Okay. But if we zoom in here, just a second. Oh, and it looks like we actually had... We'll go to this first. There's a tornado warning that's been issued. This is northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, southeastern Stanton County until 1:30 a.m. Tornado warning has been issued. At 1:06 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles southeast of Humphrey, 14 miles north of Columbus, moving east at 50 miles an hour. This is radar-indicated rotation. Nothing confirmed on the ground right now. But again, if you're in the warned area, again, Humphrey, Clarkson, again, this is just going to be to the north of Platte Center. Platte Center is not included. Let me see here. Tarnov, Lee. Again, if you're in these areas, if you're in this tornado warned area, you need to seek shelter. Again, lowest level of your home. Basement is obviously best. And if you don't have a basement, interior room away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Danger storm will be near Creston around 1:10, so that's in about 2 minutes. Lee around 1:15. And Clarkson around 1:25. Again, radar indicated rotation with this storm, but also looking at the potential for some penny to nickel-sized hail. So hail, not a huge concern. It looks like meteorologist Brandon Rector's cutting in. We'll go to him live.
10:11 Weather Center early on this Friday morning, a little after 1 a.m., as we have a new tornado warning that has been issued until 1:30 a.m. for northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, and southeastern Stanton counties. Again, this is a tornado warning for northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, southeastern Stanton counties until 1:30 a.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles southeast of Humphrey or 14 miles north of Columbus and moving east at 50 miles per hour. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles southeast of Humphrey, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So Creston, Lee, Clarkson, all included in this tornado warning that goes until 1:30 a.m. for northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, southeastern Stanton counties. You can see Humphrey there just to the north of Tarnoff as well as west of Creston. It is 4 miles to the southeast of Humphrey where we'd be most concerned with that possibility of a tornado developing. Looks as though we have this line of severe thunderstorms continuing to make its way eastward across the area, not only capable of producing the damaging wind gusts and the hail up to quarter size, maybe $half size in some locations, but now also continuing to see that possibility of some quick spin-ups, some tornadoes developing along this line as well. So we'll zoom out a little bit here and show you again. This is from around Tarnoff off towards Clarkson, where we have this tornado warning going until 1:30 a.m. Going to start off here in the northeastern part of the state, just kind of go through the latest warnings here for you. You can see Wayne, Norfolk, Madison, all under a severe thunderstorm warning as we have quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. That line right now around Madison, Norfolk, and Wayne, so it is making its way off towards the east. There you can see that tornado warning that I just talked about. Also, Columbus included in that severe thunderstorm warning. Portions of Butler, Colfax, and Platte counties. Quarter-size hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with that warning going until 1:30. We also have, looks as though that line continuing southward, severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Butler, Colfax, Platte, and Seward counties. Also, northwestern Saunders County included in that. That is just to kind of go through it here. This one just issued recently as well. Severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Colfax, southeastern Platte, northern Seward, Butler, and northwestern Saunders counties till 1:45 a.m. These severe thunderstorms were located along a line that was moving east at 50 miles per hour. Quarter-size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with that line. So included in that warning would be, as you saw, B, Linwood, David City, Ulysses, and Seward. So this line is making its way again towards Butler and Seward counties. You can also see that it eventually will make it towards Saunders as well as Lancaster County. So heads up, if it's moving east here at about 50 miles per hour, this part of the line, let's stop it here and let's just put a little storm track on it here, shall we? We'll kind of do this right here and then extend it out east at about 50 miles per hour. And we're talking about maybe within the next hour, perhaps Ceresco, Milford, Seward could be there around 1:44 a.m. Looks like Milford around 1:55. Ceresco around 2:03 a.m. is when that line could be reaching your area. And then also potentially off towards Lincoln, probably within that maybe 2:15 a.m. time frame could be. So within the next hour, we're talking about that the line of storms making its way into Lincoln. So we are going to be within the next hour dealing with that line, it looks like, in Lancaster County. We also continue to see the line of storms moving off towards the south. Here we go. Still have the warning stretching from York, Geneva, back towards Hebron and Superior. It's going to go to 1:15 a.m. I expect we'll see a new warning issued as this large polygon, and I do mean large because it extends all the way to just north of Smith Center, Mankato, looks to expire here in a few minutes, so we'll stay with you for a few more minutes and see if that is the case. I will share some good news with you, and that is that some counties in south central Nebraska have been cleared from the severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect till 4 a.m. for much of eastern Nebraska, now part of south central Nebraska and into north central Kansas. So it looks like Kearney, Lexington out, but Grand Island, Hastings still in with that severe thunderstorm watch. The flood watch continues for part of eastern Nebraska until 10 a.m. Friday morning, as that includes Columbus towards Fremont, Wahoo, and Omaha. As I've stated several times, the reason for that, National Weather Service put that flood watch out because that is an area that saw several inches of rain earlier this week. Here is a look at the line of severe thunderstorms moving east through the area. So it stretches from around Norfolk down towards north central Kansas at this time with this line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and even a few isolated tornadoes, as we still have that tornado warning that I talked about till 1:30 a.m. for northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, southeastern Stanton counties. New severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued. I talked about seeing a new warning potentially coming out, and here it is in south central Nebraska. It is going to be until 2 a.m. It is going to include Clay, Nuckolls, southeastern Webster, York, Hamilton, Fillmore, Thayer, Central Merrick, and Polk counties. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 2 a.m. for Clay, Nuckolls, southeastern Webster, York, Hamilton, Fillmore, Thayer, Central Merrick, and Polk counties. A line of severe thunderstorms moving east at 55 miles per hour, capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So this line of storms, the far edge of it right now, is along that Highway 81 corridor, or approaching that Highway 81 corridor from York to Geneva and down towards Hebron. It looks like Superior also in this warning at this time. And you'll see that this line will eventually make its way towards Lincoln, Beatrice, that Highway 77 corridor. So be prepared over the next hour for this line of storms to move from York to Lincoln and Hebron to Beatrice. So Seward, Wilbur, Crete, heads up. This line of storms making its way towards you as well. As again, this line now looks to be capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And we do have that tornado warning. Let's go back and take a look at that. That is going to be for northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, southeastern Stanton counties until 1:30 a.m. as thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado moving east at 50 miles per hour. So it looks as though it is still to the southeast of Humphrey and moving up towards Clarkson, it looks like, is where this storm may be heading as we go through the next 15-20 minutes or so. Looks as though maybe a few more counties are about to be dropped out of the watch, so there's some good news. Just trying to see if we have any other new information with this tornado warning. Does not look like we have that at this time. Hopefully we'll get something soon here. But we are, again, getting that possibility of 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail along this line of storms making its way eastward through the area and now picking up speed. We're talking about this line now moving generally 50 to 55 miles per hour. So not taking much to get those wind gusts up to 60, 70 miles per hour. And of course, 58 miles per hour or higher. And that is warning criteria. That's the severe thunderstorm warning when it reaches, those gusts get to 58 miles per hour or higher. And of course, quarter-size hail or larger. That's severe thunderstorm criteria, or if you have a tornado, and we do have that tornado warning again. The reason we're breaking into programming is because of this tornado warning that was issued for part of Colfax, Platte, and Stanton counties until 1:30 a.m. Looks as though, hold on just a moment while I try to get some new information here. Again, there's been reports of some 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts already in some areas as this line has been moving through. So now we're talking about that capability of up to 70. As far as this tornado warning goes, it looks as though where we'd be probably most concerned with that rotation, I would say, based upon this latest radar image, is just here to the south of Creston, southwest of Lee. I would say that area right in there is where I'd be most concerned with that potential tornado developing at this time. As we do that tornado warning going for another 12 minutes here, it looks like for portions of Colfax, Platte, and Stanton County. So it looks like it's just southeast of Creston, southwest of Lee, where that rotation would be. But again, Creston, Lee, towards Clarkson, you are all included in that tornado warning until 1:30. Looks as though we may have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued here. You may notice it there on your screen because it's going to include, well, we've got southwestern Burt, southern Cumming, Colfax, eastern Platte, Dodge, northern Butler, northern Saunders, and southeastern Stanton counties. So it looks as though Fremont, Columbus, West Point, David City, Schuyler, Oakland, North Bend, Scribner, Hooper, Clarkson, Dodge, Cedar Bluffs, Howells, Bellwood, Lee, Nickerson, Inglewood, Prague, Snyder, and Ewing, all included in this new severe thunderstorm warning until 2 a.m. for 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. As this warning going until 2 a.m. for that line of severe thunderstorms capable is producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, now moving at east at 65 miles per hour. So that line is just west of David City, stretching towards Columbus, and up to just the east of Tarnov and Madison there, and heading towards Scribner, Linwood, David City, Fremont, all those other communities that I mentioned just a moment ago. So that is your latest warning that has just been issued. Looks as though we may have a new tornado warning, and yes, we do. So let's get back into York County. York County, you are under a it is east central York County until 1:30 a.m. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage located over Waco or near York. So let's get a few more communities on the map here for you. There's Waco right in the center of that tornado warning going until 1:30 a.m. as this line is moving east at 65 miles per hour. So now this line really starting to pick up the pace as it is moving east at 65 miles per hour. So this tornado warning is for east central York County. You can see Waco included in this until 1:30 a.m. as this thunderstorm, this line, this part of the line capable of producing tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage, perhaps near heading towards Waco right now near York, moving east at 65 miles per hour. So heads up towards Utica, Staplehurst, Goner, Beaver Crossing, Seward. This is heading towards Seward County, so we'll keep an eye on this as we go through the next 10-15 minutes to see if this tornado warning gets extended into Seward County or not. But for now, it is just east central York County that is under that tornado warning until 1:30 a.m. We do have, again, this line, just to kind of show you the wide view here as I continue to be with you here at 1:21 a.m. early on this Friday morning. So we saw this line of thunderstorms developing in the Panhandle and western Nebraska earlier this, Thursday evening. And now moving through portions of central, northeastern Nebraska, and into north central Kansas as well. And this line is really picking up pace. And there you go, new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. And it looks like this one may include Lincoln. So we'll just remain with you here for a while as this line continues to move through the area. We'll get the latest warnings here for you. Again, until 2 a.m. It looks like we've also had another new severe thunderstorm warning that includes a little bit of west central Iowa But northwestern Burt, southeastern Wayne, Cumming, Thurston, and central Stanton counties till 2 a.m. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible for you in that area. We also now have a severe thunderstorm warning that does include part of Lancaster County, or really a lot of Lancaster County, Jefferson, Seward, Saline, southern Butler, southwestern Saunders, and western Gage counties until 2 a.m. Line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail moving east at 55 miles per hour. So it looks as though this line now moving between generally 55 to 65 miles per hour and capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. That is what we've been getting with a lot of these warnings here recently, as we do have this line moving through. So let's go back here and show you a little closer look at where these storms may be. They are around Wayne, back to the east of Madison, so heading towards West Point and Bancroft. Also, that tornado warning still going on. In fact, I may have a new update for you on that one, as we do have, let's see here, I thought we had a new update on that, but maybe not. Well, now we're getting actually a new tornado warning here issued, as this one, there's your update for you right there. As we have the new tornado warning that has now been issued for southwestern Burt, southern Cumming, northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, northern Dodge, and southeastern Stanton counties till 2:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado located 4 miles south of Lee, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So let's get closer in, get Lee back on the map here for you. There is Lee, and there is that distinctive hook there with the radar signature. I'm going to stop it here just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, circle it for you. It is right now, there's the latest update. I would say this area right in here is where we would have the best potential at seeing that tornado, where you have that bit of a hook, that rotation that's developing there south of Lee, and this is moving east at 50 miles per hour. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Again, we do not have confirmation of anything on the ground, but one could form at any time south of Lee there. That warning going for southwestern Burt, southern Cumming, northern Colfax, northeastern Platte, northern Dodge, southeastern Stanton counties till 2:15 a.m. This latest tornado warning that has just been issued. So we'll zoom out here and show you Clarkson, Howes, Dodge, Snyder, Ewing, all included in this tornado warning that is going to go until 2:15 a.m. So Scribner, Oakland, it looks like on the edge of this warning as well. We have the one warning. There's two polygons here. One is about to expire here in about 5 minutes, but it looks like National Weather Service went ahead and just put out a new tornado warning until 2:15 a.m. on that one. And it looks as though we have another new tornado warning. So let's get to this one, as we have this warning going until 2 a.m. This is going to include southern Colfax, as well as southwestern Dodge, northeastern Butler, and northwestern Saunders counties until 2 a.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles north of David City, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Not only is tornado possible, but ping pong ball size hail as well. So it looks as though Octavia, Schuyler, North Bend, Prague, David City, all included in this at this point with this tornado warning. Let's go in here. I want to show you where I'd be probably most concerned with that potential tornado. Again, we talked about 5 miles north of David City, so that would be right about in here. So it looks like it's making its way towards Octavia right now, this particular warning. Again, this is a tornado warning that has just been issued for southern Colfax, southwestern Dodge, northeastern Butler, and northwestern Saunders counties until 2 a.m. as we have this potential tornado and ping pong ball size hail possible with this particular line of storm making its way eastward. Looks as though we may be getting a new warning now, so let's just continue to stick with you here, and you can see that there is a new tornado warning just north of where the current warning is. So this, again, from the National Weather Service issued. Again, we talked about this possibility of isolated tornadoes. These tornadoes, these quick spin-ups can happen within this line of storms, and sure enough, that's what's been happening for us here, especially in the last last 10-15 minutes. We've seen now 3 tornado warnings issued. This one is for southern Colfax, southern Dodge, northeastern Butler, northwestern Saunders counties until 2:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Schuyler, moving east at 55 miles per hour. So this storm is right now near the Schuyler area. I'll stop the loop there and show you. So it's really just to the west of Schuyler. It looks like right at this time, where we have that bit of a notch, a little bit of that hook echo developing. And could be making its way again towards Rogers and North Bend as it is moving east at 55 miles per hour. So we have 3 tornado warnings right now. I'll zoom out here to kind of show you what we're looking at. 3 separate tornado warnings. I know there's a 4th one there, but that one's about to expire here in 2 minutes and was replaced by that one. You see that's for portions of Burt, Colfax, Cumming, and Dodge counties until 2:15 a.m. And now we have kind of 3 tornado warnings lined up here. So let's just take you through it. This tornado warning until 2:15 a.m. is going to include parts of Burt, Colfax, Cumming, and Dodge counties, Clarkson, Dodge, Ewing, all included in this. It looks like it's southwest of Clarkson right now, where we have that bit of a notch there in the radar return. So it looks as though that is where the best possibility of a tornado is at this point. But if you're anywhere in that polygon, you're under the tornado warning, as we could have a tornado really develop at any point and have more warnings issued at any time here, as we have these little quick spin-ups happening along this line as it's moving through eastern Nebraska. So we're talking about this area right here. I would say just south of Clarkson, an area that I'm circling. That is where I'd be most concerned with the potential at a tornado right now, is just south of Clarkson. And this is moving east, so it looks like, as of right now, staying south of Clarkson, but Dodge, Ewing, you're included in that warning, again, going until 2:15 a.m. as the storm continues to move east at this time. Trying to see if we're getting any other new information. Another new tornado warning. New tornado warnings now being issued. So let's take you to where that one is going to be. And this one is going to include, it looks as though, portions of Butler, Lancaster, Saunders, and Seward counties. So this would be Ulysses, Dwight, Valparaiso, and Soresco included in this latest tornado warning. As we have severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Ulysses, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is officially a tornado warning for northwestern Lancaster, northeastern Seward, southeastern Butler, southwestern Saunders counties until 2:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Ulysses and moving east at 45 miles per hour. So Dwight, Valparaiso included in this warning, Soresco as well, and this warning going until 2:15 a.m. So let's just kind of expand out here and show you what we're dealing with at this time as this line of severe thunderstorms continues to move across eastern Nebraska, part of south central Nebraska into north central Kansas, but it's really parts of eastern Nebraska right now where we're the most concerned with. Again, the possibility not only of tornadoes, but also 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter, maybe even $half to ping pong ball size hail possible with some of these storms as they are moving east. Again, at about 55, it looks like 45 to 55 miles per hour on these warnings right now. So these storms are moving at a pretty good pace through the area. And into eastern Nebraska at this time. So there is a look at how this activity has gone over the last 4 hours. And now we're into eastern Nebraska with this. We do have, real quickly to recap, the severe thunderstorm watch in place till 4 a.m. Friday morning, the flood watch for part of eastern Nebraska until 10 a.m. Friday morning. But reason broke into programming, why I'm sticking with you here for a while, is we have some tornado warnings. So let's just start here in northeastern Nebraska, kind of work our way down to show you that we do have the storms right now. Right around Wayne, back to Clarkson, and moving towards Bancroft and West Point. So it looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning for part of Burt coming. Thurston counties for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You can see the severe thunderstorm warning, and then we have multiple tornado warnings here, 3 right now on your screen. So let's zoom into each of these and kind of go through them. This one until 2:15 a.m. includes Clarkson, Dodge, and Ewing. You can see the rotation there right south of Clarkson, moving east at this time. That's where we'd be most concerned with the potential of a tornado, is that area south of Clarkson, moving east again through parts of Burt, Colfax, Cumming, and Dodge counties. Also until 2:15 a.m. we have this particular warning that is going to go again until 2:15 a.m. for part of Butler, Colfax, Dodge, and Saunders counties. So Schuyler, Rogers, North Bend, and Nickerson included in this warning. As this storm is moving east, again, we have that potential of near Schuyler. So let's get a look here. I may have some new information coming in. I thought I was, but maybe not. That's what we have right now with that particular warning, is again that activity near Schuyler and moving towards Rogers, North Bend, and Nickerson, as we have the tornado warning until 2:15 a.m. Also, a tornado warning until it looks like 2 a.m., I believe. Again, some of these polygons are right on top of each other. You can see Schuyler basically under 2 tornado warnings right now, but it's right around Octavia where it looks like we have that potential, where we have that, looks like that hook echo, and that's where we could potentially have that tornado forming at any moment. So Bruno, Prague, North Bend, all included in that warning. Also could see ping pong ball size hail with that storm, that particular warning. Again, going until it looks as though actually till 2:15 a.m. it looks like for that one, for part of Colfax, Dodge, and Saunders counties. And then the tornado warning that includes Ceresco, Valparaiso, Dwight, B, Ulysses, for a tornado warning till 2:15 a.m. This would include portions of Butler, Lancaster, Saunders, and Seward counties. We have this tornado warning going. And so therefore, not only that, but also, again, anywhere along this line, we have that potential for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. I do want to mention that Seward, Lincoln, Crete, Wilbur, Fairbury down near Beatrice also included in a severe thunderstorm warning until 2 a.m. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. That line right now, you can see Hebron, Bruning, Geneva, up towards York. Heading towards Seward is where we have that line that could potentially produce 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail as it continues to move on off towards the east at this time. So again, heads up, Fairbury, Western, Crete, Seward, Lincoln. This activity is moving towards your areas at this time. So we have, again, much of Lancaster, Seward, Gage, and Saline counties under a severe thunderstorm warning until 2 a.m. Going to pause for a moment here, see if I have any other new information at this point. Looks as though we're getting an update on the severe thunderstorm watch, so let's take a look at that. Yes, looks as though potentially we have a new watch that has been issued. Let me get some information on this. Looks like now until 8 a.m. portions. It looks like Gage, Johnson, Oto, Pawnee, Richardson counties, all included in a new severe thunderstorm watch going until 8 a.m. So those counties that weren't in a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. are now in a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 a.m. It looks like at this time, and that may go into, it looks like part of western Iowa as well. So we have a couple of severe thunderstorm watches at this time. And it looks as though, let me see here. Yes, that again, severe thunderstorm watch continues for most of that area until 4 a.m. And then you can see the new one that includes Gage, Johnson, Nemaha, Otoe, Pawnee, and Richardson counties. Again, that going until 8 a.m. So let's get back to the wide view here, show you what we've got going on with our line of severe thunderstorms. And now another tornado warning has been issued. I know this is a lot to keep up with, everyone, but bear with me here. We have this, we've talked about it all day, this potential for severe weather, and sure enough, here we are, as we do have these severe thunderstorms making their way through the area at this time. And here is the latest tornado warning that includes northwestern Lancaster and east central Seward County until 2:15 a.m. So let me zoom into that area. So now we're getting Malcolm included in this latest warning, Seward, Goner. We have this tornado warning for northwestern Lancaster, east central Seward County until 2:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 3 miles north of Goner or 6 miles west of Seward, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So again, this is that storm 6 miles west of Seward. So you can see that that bit of a notch there just to the west of Seward. That's pretty much between Seward and Goner at this point, where we'd be most concerned with that possibility of a tornado. So let me circle that here for you real quick and show you it is generally this area where we have that possibility right now of that potentially seeing a tornado. Again, this moving east at 50 miles per hour. And we do have this warning going until 2:15 a.m. for northwestern Lancaster, east central Seward County. I believe we have Ryan Swanigan out in the 1011 Weather Shield right now, keeping an eye on some things. If we can go to Ryan and see what he is, where he is, and what he is seeing on the road right now, and of course, continuing to be safe out there, Ryan.
Yeah, Brandon, right now we're in the path of the southernmost tornado warning. We are just to the west, or excuse me, to the east of Malcolm. I'm going to try and take the mic off of this seatbelt here and keep you guys with me, as right now we just stopped on the side of the road, and I think we actually just lost our front camera. So currently we're, again, just to the east of Malcolm. We were thinking about making it all the way up to Valparaiso until we were watching the notch that's to the west of Seward, and now we're just stopped right here on Highway 79, northwestern Lancaster County. I'm going to see if I can move our dome camera. I know it's in black and white, so you probably can't really see much of anything right now, but this is looking back straight west toward this new cell, or well, not this new cell, but this portion of the line rather that has this new couplet that's going right at the Seward area. So again, if you're in any point along this line, going up all the way to Dodge County and into Saunders County and now western Lancaster County, if you're in Seward County, please be in shelter right now. Hopefully your weather radios are going off or your cell phones are going off. Just get to the basement right now. That's all you need to be concerned about, or get to the safest part of an interior room inside of your house, because this is not a good situation with these straight line winds that are producing all of these different spin ups. And as you mentioned, Brandon, they're moving so fast that it's there and then it's gone and then it's there again. But right now it seems as if everything is just rapidly strengthening here and producing all of these tornado warnings, Brandon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ryan, for that report. Continue to be safe out there. And again, we are watching this line of severe thunderstorms. So again, we've been talking about it all day, this potential. And sure enough, not only are we seeing straight line winds up to 70 miles per hour possible, but maybe some quarter to $half size hail. Rain could be heavy. You're probably going to see some frequent lightning. And now we have several, and I mean several, tornado warnings that have been issued here just within the last 20 minutes by the National Weather Service. It looks as though right now we have, again, if I'm doing the count, we've got 5 tornado warnings stretching from just around West Point down to west of Lincoln at this time. So let's just go through them all here for you, get a closer look. And what we have right now is this severe tornado warning that includes Clarkson, Dodge, and Ewing. This was a little bit of a notch you can see there that developed south of Clarkson. Seems as though now still south of Dodge, but really anywhere along this entire line of thunderstorms, we could see a tornado warning issued at any time, as we have seen several again issued within the last 20 minutes here by the National Weather Service. And of course, this is at night. It's going to be very difficult to see, and these storms are moving rapidly. We're talking about 45 to 55 miles per hour, so moving quickly. This is going to be a very difficult situation and a very fast-paced situation with these storms, as we do have, again, that tornado warning till 2:15 a.m. for part of Burt, Colfax coming in Dodge County, as it looks as though right now the part of the line we'd be most concerned with would be right to the south of Dodge at this point, where we do have that potential rotation there at this time. Also, we have the tornado warning going until 2:15 a.m. for part of Colfax, Dodge, and Saunders counties. Schuyler, North Bend included in this, up towards Hooper as well. We have this warning that was issued as we had that rotation indicated by National Weather Service near Schuyler, and it looks as though it's now moved past Schuyler and heading towards North Bend, where we have that tornado warning at this time. So hopefully if you're in any of these tornado warnings, you are in your safe spot right now. As we do have, again, North Bend, Prague, Bruno, all included, Rogers in a tornado warning going until 2 a.m. Quarter-size hail possible with this storm as well, as this is, again, moving off towards the east. The initial rotation was near Octavia. It looks like out of the warning now. So it would be generally between North Bend and Prague where we could have this activity at this time. We also have the tornadic activity, that is. We do have also a tornado warning till 2:15 a.m. For a portion of Butler, Lancaster, Saunders, and Seward counties. This would include Valparaiso and Ceresco. Looks as though the storm is moving away from Dwight and heading towards the front of that line and heading towards Valparaiso at this point. So again, we have that tornado warning in that area. And then also the tornado warning that includes Malcolm and Seward. This is part of Seward and Lancaster counties. So Seward, Malcolm, Garland, all included in this warning, and it looks as though we may be getting some new information with this. You saw a little bit of that latest tornado warning there that I'm talking about was taken out Goner, no longer in the warning, so tornado warning continuing till 2:15 a.m. As a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 3 miles south of Seward and moving east at 50 miles per hour. So it's making its way towards Malcolm here over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So need to be in your safe spot right now if you're in northwestern Lancaster County, or if you are in that portion of Seward County, probably south of Garland, east of Seward at this point is where we have this tornado warning going until 2:15 a.m. We're also talking about 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible with these storms that are continuing, this line of storms that continues to make its way eastward across the area. Just to recap, the severe thunderstorm watch that continues for eastern Nebraska, most of it till 4 a.m. The southeastern part, Gage, Richardson County, Odo County, that's going to be until 8 a.m. actually right now. And then we have the flood watch for part of northeastern Nebraska, or really eastern Nebraska there from Omaha to Columbus, Wahoo, Fremont included in that, Tacoma until 10 a.m. on Friday mornings. That's the area that has had several inches of rain here earlier this week, so it would not take all that much rain to potentially get some flooding going again. We do have this line to show you the wide view. Severe thunderstorms stretching from east of Norfolk down towards right at that Kansas-Nebraska line. So we're talking near Superior and Hebron at this point, where those storms are moving through. And we also have north central Kansas right now, not under a warning, but some strong thunderstorm activity moving through north central Kansas at this time. But to recap, we have several tornado warnings at this time. That's why we're sticking with you as we do have these tornado warnings and this line of some straight line winds, upwards of 70 miles per hour, and some quarter to maybe $half size hail possible with these storms. Could see that heavy rain potentially moving through, at least briefly, probably some frequent lightning as well. And we do have, again, this line just continuing to move very quickly through portions of eastern Nebraska at about 50 miles per hour now. So these storms have been picking up pace here over the last few hours. Earlier tonight, when they were in the western part of the state, these storms were only moving at about 15 to 25, 30 miles per hour. Now we're talking about 45 to 55 miles per hour across eastern Nebraska, back into part of south central Nebraska and north central Kansas, these storms making their way through the area. So we'll just kind of start here in northeastern Nebraska once again, kind of go through where we're at right now with this activity. You can see stretching from Pender down towards West Point. Looks like that's where the line is, where we have 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail possible. We have the tornado warning. You can see, I'll kind of zoom in here, Dodge, Scribner, Ewing, all included in this warning until 2:15 a.m., as we have also those 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail possible. We have the warning also including North Bend and Nickerson there until it looks like 2:15 a.m., as we have this line continuing to move through. I would say right around that North Bend area is where it looks like maybe having a little bit of a hook, a little bit of a notch developing there. So I'd be probably, that would be the area where we might have the greatest chance at seeing a tornado at this point within that warning. And then we have that tornado warning also stretching from down towards Prague. So portions of Dodge and Saunders counties right now under that tornado warning. Also quarter size hail, some 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible, as that line is stretching from North Bend to Prague at this point. And then we also have, again, that tornado warning around Valparaiso and stretching towards Ceresco, and then Seward to Malcolm at this time. Going to go back to Ryan Swanigan, who has an update. Ryan, how are things looking?
Yeah, Brandon, currently we're still on Highway 79. We're actually just to the southwest of Raymond, and if Andrew, our director, wouldn't mind right now putting us in boxes, because I want to have the radar up at the same time as the shot here on the weather shield. We're looking up Highway 79, so towards the north, toward Valparaiso, at this notch that's kind of jetted out from this very strong line of storms. And it's dark, so being able to see this with great distinction is a challenge, but every single time that we get a lightning strike in this shot, we can absolutely see what certainly is the area that the National Weather Service is watching on radar. And again, I wish that we could have some sort of light on this thing, because it certainly looks pretty intimidating straight north of us up Highway 79. If you're in Valparaiso, now is the time to seek shelter before it's too late, because this thing is about ready to go right over the town. And we might even head up there after this thing moves through, because it just doesn't look too good here in the dark. I wish that we had a bit of a better view back also straight to the southwest of us, in the direction north of Milford and to the southwest of Malcolm, because that's also another area that has a tornado warning with it as well. Again, I'm going to roll down the window out here, and it's so quiet, which is not exactly a good thing. I don't know if I'm just not in the area where the tornado sirens are sounding, but from what I'm hearing, it just doesn't sound like any sirens are sounding up in the northwestern portion of the county. We're still a little ways away from Raymond, but we're also, Brandon, about ready to get hit head on here with this storm. It's just about lined up right on top of us, just to the southwest of Raymond here. That's where our position is. So we're gonna I'd like to, Brandon, if you're all right with it, just keep it in boxes. Maybe Andrew, bring my mic down, and then Brandon, I'll toss it back to you as we watch all of this move right on top of us here in northwestern Lancaster County. Brandon?
Yes, Ryan, thank you for that report. You can kind of see the lightning there in the picture as well, kind of lighting up the sky there, and you'll notice those storms on the horizon. As again, we do have that tornado warning, Valparaiso, included in it, and it looks like that line is right around Valparaiso and just to the west of Raymond at this time, and heading towards Malcolm as well. So we do have this, even if you don't see a tornado, which again, very difficult because A, it's night, and B, just can be very difficult to see those in this particular situation. But even if you don't see that, you're still going to have some very strong winds. We're talking 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and perhaps even some quarter-size hail possible with this as well. So here's kind of a look there on the radar on your right screen, and then we have the picture from Ryan Swanigan there in the weather shield on the left. Again, remaining safe out there with this activity moving through. Again, we do have this these tornado warnings there. I've taken the information off just to kind of show you the polygons so you can see the full radar there. So Valparaiso, Ceresco included in that warning. We also have Garland, Seward, and Malcolm in a tornado warning as well. So there is a look at kind of how things are playing out as these storms are approaching the Lancaster County line, so moving out of Seward County into Lancaster County and up into western Saunders County as well. So we have two tornado warnings, one that includes Seward and Malcolm, another that includes Valparaiso and Ceresco. And don't want to leave out to the north there. We have Prague, North Bend under a tornado warning. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning there as well. And then also the tornado warning that includes portions of Ewing, Oakland, and back towards Dodge. So again, thank you, Ryan, for your report there. We'll continue to keep us updated with things as we go through the next little bit here. We'll go back to full screen with graphics right now, just to kind of show you again this line moving through eastern Nebraska at this point. Looks as though we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to include a large area. That's why I've also kind of zoomed out here. We have southern Burt, northeastern Colfax, Lancaster, eastern Seward, Douglas, Saunders, Sarpy, Washington, Dodge, northwestern Odo, southeastern Butler, and Cass counties until 2:45 a.m. Line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail moving east at 55 miles per hour. Again, we have this new severe thunderstorm warning issued till 2:45 a.m. includes Fremont, Omaha, Wahoo, Ceresco, and Lincoln at this time. And then you can see the tornado warnings within that severe thunderstorm warning as well.
Burt Cumming Dodge tornado warning is now an observed tornado.
Okay, Burt Cumming Dodge County tornado warning. I want to take this back up to that. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler letting me know that is now apparently an observed tornado warning. So let me get the information back on the screen here for you. So it looks as though again that we have Burt Cumming in Dodge County tornado warning till 2:15 a.m. Now no longer radar indicated, but an observed tornado. So let me see if I can get the latest information with that one from the National Weather Service. As again, we have, bear with me everyone, we have several warnings right now to try to keep up with. It looks as though that one that was 6 miles south-southwest of Dodge in Colfax County, there was a observed tornado perhaps 7 miles south-southwest of Dodge, actually. So again, we now have an observed tornado with this warning until 2:15 a.m. for portions of Burt Cumming in Dodge County. Still hoping to see if I can get the latest statement here. Okay, there it is. This is the latest from that. A confirmed tornado. This is at 1:49 a.m. A confirmed tornado located 5 miles south of Snyder or 14 miles south of West Point and was moving east at 50 miles per hour. So again, there's West Point. Get that back on the screen there for you. There we have West Point. It was 14 miles south of West Point. This was about 7 minutes ago. Confirmed tornado moving east at 50 miles per hour. Again, you need to be in your safe spot right now if you were in southwestern Burt, southeastern Cumming, northern Dodge counties, as Scribner included in this warning, Ewing, Oakland, need to be in your safe spots right now as we have this tornado warning going until 2:15 a.m. as we do now have at least at 1:49 a.m. a confirmed tornado that was located 14 miles south of West Point, moving east at 50 miles per hour. A couple other new warnings looks like have been issued. So let's go through all of these. We have polygons on top of polygons here as we have some of these warnings set to expire and new warnings are being issued. It looks as though a new tornado warning has been issued in southwestern Washington, southeastern Dodge, northwestern Douglas, and northeastern Saunders counties. So this is going to go until 2:30 a.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 3 miles south of Cedar Bluffs or 9 miles southwest of Fremont, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So you can see Fremont right there near the center of your screen. In fact, I'll put it in the center of your screen and you'll see that again this is southwest of Fremont, 9 miles where the severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado moving east at 50 miles per hour. So this is heading towards Inglewood and Woodcliff in the next few minutes, and then Valley eventually as we make our way through about the next 10 minutes. So Fremont, Valley, and Bennington included in this tornado warning going until 2:30 a.m. We also, again, have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued. In fact, several severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued. Again, bear with me, everyone, as I try to keep track of all of these warnings that are being issued, several here at a time, and some on top of each other. Looks as though we have another tornado warning that has been issued for, this would include, looks as though it's going to be Sarpy, northeastern Lancaster, southeastern Dodge, southeastern Saunders, northern Cass County until 2:45 a.m. This tornado warning is due to a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Ceresco and moving east at 55 miles per hour. So you see Ceresco there on the left of your screen. This would be south of Wahoo, north of Davie, where we have Ceresco there, Highway 77. We have the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado moving east at 55 miles per hour. So this is a new tornado warning for Sarpy, northeastern Lancaster, southeastern Dodge, southeastern Saunders, northern Cass counties until 2:45 a.m. Ceresco included in this, Ashland, Gretna, Springfield, Louisville, Plattsmouth, Bellevue. You can see all included. Millard, it looks like, maybe on the edge of that warning as well. So need to be in safe spots at this time if you're in that area, as we do have this tornado warning for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Ceresco, and this is warning going until 2:45 a.m. So that is the latest with that tornado warning. And then we do have the severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's just take you through these, as we do have, again, it looks like now into Kansas here, a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. This would be Belleville towards Washington, so part of Republic and Washington County. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with that storm as it is moving through your area. Looks as though it's moving east at about 45 miles per hour. We also have Gage, Jefferson, southern Lancaster, Sarpy County. Getting warnings on top of warnings there. So Wilbur, Adams, Beatrice, Fairbury, Odell, Pawnee City, all included in this severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go, it looks like, until 2:45 a.m. for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So that line around Fairbury up towards Wilbur and moving east at this time. Let's get back here and show you that we do continue to have that tornado warning for Seward and Malcolm going until 2:15 a.m. That particular warning, again, has been out for a little bit here. In fact, maybe getting some new information with it. So let me see if I can find that particular warning. Looks like the new information with that is severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Emerald, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So this is where we're looking at right now. Let's get a little closer in here. So this would be right near the Malcolm area, where I'd say we have that bit of a notch there. That's in the area. So we're talking about also near Emerald. So we're talking west of Lincoln now, where we have that potential tornado that could develop, as we have that tornado warning going until 2:15 a.m. For part of northwestern Lancaster, east central Seward counties. As this line of the storm, this particular storm moving east at 50 miles per hour. That the line itself is pretty much moving at around 50 miles per hour as well. We do have the tornado warning Valparaiso towards Ceresco till 2:15, and then the new one that was just issued right around Ceresco back towards Ashland, Springfield, Louisville, going until 2:45 a.m. as we had a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Ceresco and moving east at this time. So basically anywhere, I'm just going to show you the wide view here once again, just to kind of give you an indication of what we are dealing with at this time, and that is a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail at this time. And also we do have several tornado warnings from just north and west of Lincoln and stretching up towards the west and north of Omaha and into eastern Nebraska at this time, into northeastern Nebraska at this point. So severe thunderstorm line, a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And then we have these quick spin-ups that are happening where we have these tornado warnings getting issued. And most of these have been radar indicated, but we do have, again, that one that was up near the Dodge area that was, again, confirmed on that one where we had a confirmed tornado near Dodge. And this was moving east, so heads up again towards Ewing, Oakland for that tornado warning. So let's get back to the zoomed in views and kind of show you where we're at. So we have the line of storms now around Pender. Looks like moving towards Lyons, Oakland, and Ewing. Also right around Hooper and Fremont. Looks like the edge of the line has made it towards your area. Also moving through Wahoo and Ceresco right now. And then that line is edging its way towards Lincoln at this time. And we'll see that the wind probably picking up here if it hasn't already, as we are under that severe thunderstorm warning in Lincoln for up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And that line stretching from Crete to Wilbur down towards Plymouth and Fairbury, and then also down into northern Kansas as well. Looks like it's making its way near Belleville at this point and moving towards perhaps Washington as we go through the next hour or so. We have, again, looks like several tornado warnings still. You've got, let's see, 7 tornado warnings at this time because we've got these quick little spin-ups that have happened, and the National Weather Service has been issuing these just to kind of keep us on track here with all of the warnings. Again, we have several tornado warnings that have been issued, a lot to keep up with right now, so bear with me, everyone, as I try to keep track of all of these warnings, as we've had several issued in a short span of time. So let's just kind of go in closer here and see where some of this rotation could be right now. We'll start here, and some of this is very tough to tell in some of these locations. I'll try to put the velocity mode on here for you and see if we can pick up any rotations at this point. Kind of tough to tell here, but it'd be right around to the southwest point, to the northwest of Hooper, where we would be watching for that potential at this time of maybe seeing any kind of potential spin-ups kind of moving through here down the line. At this point, and again, even if you don't get a tornado, we're still talking about some very strong wind gusts. We're talking around 70 miles per hour possible, as well as some quarter-size hail. So not really seeing much a distinct rotation there on the velocity mode at this point. But again, we could see a tornado form at any time where any of those warnings are. Looks like we have a new tornado warning that has now been issued. So let's get the latest here for you. This is going to include central Washington and southeastern Dodge County until 2:45 a.m. As we have this tornado warning right here. This would be Hooper, Ewing towards Tacoma, all included in that. And then that also goes into western Iowa, it looks like, as well. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 6 miles northwest of Fremont or 5 miles west of Nickerson. So let's go there and show you that, again, this warning going until 2:45 a.m. as it's moving east right now at about 50 miles per hour with this tornado warning that has just been issued, again, for portions of Dodge and Washington County. So let's go here and get a little closer look. Get a few more locations on the map there for you. As we have, again, this can be very tough to tell, polygons on top of polygons, as some of these are set to expire in a few minutes. And also this line is just moving so fast. National Weather Service is trying to keep up with it at this point. As these storms, again, are moving east at about 45, 50, 55 miles per hour, it looks like at this time. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler here with me in the Weather Center. He maybe has some new information. Bill, what you got?
Says sirens are going off in the northeastern part of Lancaster County.
Okay, so it sounds like we're getting a report of the sirens going off in northeastern Lancaster County. Again, we did have that warning issued, so let's get into northeastern Lancaster County. So we're talking about, looks like Davie in that area, up towards Ceresco. Again, it was around Ceresco where we had that rotation. And it looks like it is right now, right around to the east of Ceresco, and right on that Lancaster-Saunders County line there is where we have that at this time.
But it looks like they did just let that warning expire for northeastern Lancaster.
Okay, looks like, again, that northeastern Lancaster County about to perhaps be canceled out of the latest warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service, or I guess it was issued a little while ago. Again, we also have another tornado warning. Again, there were 2 warnings up around portions of Dodge and Washington County. Also, I think I showed it to you earlier there, southeastern coming, northwestern Washington, northeastern Dodge till 2:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 3 miles southwest of Ewing, moving east at 55 miles per hour is what we had with that particular warning. Again, this is quite the line that has really strengthened here as it has moved into eastern Nebraska, and a lot of warnings going on right now in the area, as we have several tornado warnings. Also, we have, again, severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's just kind of show you what we have at this time. Again, several tornado warnings stretching between West Point and right around the Lancaster-Saunders County line. So near Ceresco, and you can see these warnings continuing at this time. Looks like maybe getting some new information on some of these perhaps coming in right now. Doesn't look like it at this time.
We did have the watch canceled for Cedar, Madison, Pearson, Platte counties.
Okay, so let's go to that severe thunderstorm watch. Thank you, Bill, for that update. Looks like some counties in northeastern Nebraska have been cleared from the severe thunderstorm watch. Again, what were those counties again, Bill?
That was Cedar, Madison, Pierce, and Platte.
Cedar, Madison, Pierce, and Platte. So that would be Norfolk to Columbus. Looks like you're out of the severe thunderstorm watch, so it looks like the severe weather threat has moved east of your area, so you are in the clear now. We do have, again, these severe thunderstorms, this line, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and tornadoes possible as this line is moving through eastern Nebraska at this time. There's kind of a wide view. Even have a warning there into a bit of northern Kansas as well. So I'm going to take a look here and pull up the sky view that I have here on my graphics. Just to kind of show you what we are looking at here in the capital city right now, as the line of storms is making its way through the area at this time. So here is a look. We are looking west-southwest from the station on our sky view at this point.
52 mile an hour wind gusts at the airport.
52 mile per hour wind gusts just reported at the airport. So again, we have these strong winds moving through the area at this time, as we have, looks like also perhaps you probably not able to see it since it is dark, but probably a good shelf cloud out there tonight moving through eastern Nebraska, kind of showing what we mean by that is kind of the edge of the line of storms. You get a shelf cloud to develop. We have Ryan Swanigan out in the 1011 weather shield. I believe he's near the Ashland area now. So Ryan, tell us how things have been and what you got going on right now.
Actually, Brandon, no, that was kind of a miscommunication issue on my part. We are actually back in Northwest Lincoln, but we're trying to make our way back up to the north. There is a very serious, at least on the radar that I have, I know my radar is different from yours, but there's a very serious looking notch right now that's just to the west of the Ashland area that we're trying to race up north. This is part of that tornado warning that started about right in the Valparaiso area that we had earlier on the weather shield camera. Now we're on the interstate trying to get back up to the north because that notch went right over Valparaiso, it went right over Ceresco, and now it's moving right at the Ashland area. So if you're in Ashland, please take shelter, basement or the most interior room of your house, because this is just a really gnarly line of storms that are moving to the east very quickly. And this notch that we're watching has just stayed there. It hasn't dissipated, it hasn't gone into the storm. It's still just maintained its distinguished look. So we're hoping for the best right now, and we'll have another report later. Hopefully Brandon from the Ceresco area. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Ryan, thanks for that report. Continue to be safe out there. Again, in the 1011 weather shield, giving us the information and what he is seeing right now as he is in the weather shield, checking out all the storms right now and continuing to be safe. So let's get a look here at what we have right now with our potential tornado warnings. Excuse me, Bill Rinchler has an update.
Push up the velocity on that warning right now.
Okay, so I have the warning here and going to put it into velocity mode. And I would say, yeah, right there, right near the Ashland area, that's near Memphis. That is where we have that rotation right now. That is where we could have that potential tornado, is right in this area. Again, we look for those areas where you have the green and red together, where the wind is towards and away from the radar right next to each other. And you can see this particular rotation right around Memphis and just to the northwest of Ashland, as it is, again, this storm is moving off towards the east at this time. So we do have this tornado warning that continues to be in place for that area. So Gretna, Springfield, Papillion, Louisville, all included in this warning. But put it in the velocity mode here to kind of show you where this rotation is strongest right now, and that is right around Memphis and northwest of Ashland, where we have that potential tornado. So you need to be in your safe spot right now. Again, as we have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado in this area. So we do have, again, that's where I'd be most concerned with, is near that Memphis area at this time for that potential for a tornado. We've gotten these quick spin-ups to develop as we've had these storms moving through, with this front moving through the area. And the line of storms you can see here capable of producing not only tornadoes but 70 mile per hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. So just kind of recap the tornado warnings that we have right now. Again, that one I was just showing you near Ashland and Memphis. So that would be right there where we'd have that potential for a tornado. If this continues its movement towards the east, heads up, Springfield and Gretna, this storm is making its way towards your area. You need to be in your safe spot right now. Tornado warning going until 2:45 a.m. This would be for portions of Cass, Douglas, Sarpy, and Saunders counties as we have that tornado warning continuing, and it would be between Ashland and Memphis where we have that rotation at this time. Bill, you have an update?
3 miles south-southeast of Inglewood, a thunderstorm wind gust of 72 miles an hour. That's in Saunders County.
Okay, so there in Saunders County, report a 72 mile per hour wind gust. So now we're getting above 70 mile per hour wind gusts with some of this activity moving through right now. Just to kind of show you, if you're tuning in Lancaster County and Lincoln area, getting woken up maybe by the thunderstorms, or maybe you're still with us after that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible across Lancaster County, down towards Gage County, heading towards Cass and Odo County at this time. So looks like the line right now, Pickrell up towards Lincoln, so heads up towards Firth, Adams, Douglas, Palmyra, Eagle, Weeping Water. This line is going to make it to your area, so you need to be prepared for those potential 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail in your area. We also do have that tornado warning continuing for portions of Dodge, Douglas, Washington counties till 2:30, so this would include Valley, and then also Blair in a tornado warning until 2:45 in the morning. And then we have Tacoma back towards Ewing in a tornado warning, Herman as well until 2:45 a.m. Thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes in this area. This line is moving east at about 55 miles per hour, and you can see here in extreme northeastern Nebraska up near Lyons to the northeast, that's where some rotation likely is right now. So that's making its way towards the Iowa-Nebraska line, it looks like at this point. So that would be portions of Burton, Cumming County, Thurston County, all included in that tornado warning going until 3 a.m. it looks like at this time. Bill, what'd you have?
Dodge County near Nickerson, a 67 mile an hour wind gust.
Okay, so 67 mile per hour wind gust reported. So these storms are moving fast through the area at this point. You can see the line now stretching from around Sioux City back through Lincoln and Beatrice, and we still have multiple tornado warnings here in far eastern Nebraska. So we'll go through this again one more time. Near the Ashland area is where we have that potential at a tornado at this point. We'll put this into velocity mode to kind of show you what we're looking at. Still getting a pretty clear signature there near Memphis at this point for that rotation at this time. Again, we're looking where the green and red meet, that wind towards and away from the radar. When you get a signature like that, that is a good indication, not only a rotation, but potentially a tornado could be on the ground. So you need to be in your safe spot right now. If you are near Ashland, Memphis, and heads up Gretna, Springfield, Louisville, Papillion, you are continuing to be in that tornado warning at this time. So here's a wide look once again at what we're dealing with these storms moving through. Just that line extending, you can see from right around Sioux City back towards Concordia at this point, right along eastern Nebraska. This line really picked up the pace here over the last couple of hours. Let's see. Temperature is dropping quite a bit behind this front as well, as we were 76 in Lincoln here at about 1:40 a.m. and here at the station we've actually dropped to 63. So we've dropped 10, 15 degrees across Lancaster County as this front has been moving through with this thunderstorm activity. So you'll notice the cooler conditions as well. Looks like we picked up about 2/10 of an inch of rain here at the station as well with this activity moving through at this time. So that is where we stand right now. We'll stick with you just a little bit longer with these tornado warnings still going and this thunderstorm activity moving through Lancaster County right now. We still have this storms making their way through northeastern Nebraska. You can see from Winnebago down towards Tacoma. We have the tornado warning in there as well till 2:45 a.m. 70 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail possible. Looks as though the line of storms is through Fremont, or at least the initial part of the line, heading towards Blair, which is under tornado warning until 2:45 a.m. We also have, again, that tornado warning just to the east of Fremont. Yes, Bill?
2 miles north of Ashland, we had a 67 mile an hour wind gust.
2 miles north of Ashland, a 67 mile per hour wind gust was reported. So we'll go back towards that Ashland area. So even if we don't get the tornado, we have up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Apparently, hang on, Bill, you have another report.
Butler, Colfax, Stanton, Wayne counties dropped from the watch.
Okay, so we have a few more counties that have been dropped from the watch. We'll check in one more time with Ryan Swanigan and the 1011 Weather Shield for an update. Ryan?
Yeah, Brandon, right now we just pulled off here. We're on our way to Ceresco to see if there is any damage up there. Hopefully there isn't. I want to give an update on the power outage situation. I'll start with LES. Not good in terms of the outages right now. Over 2,000 customers without power currently. That number specifically more so at 2,500 customers without power. There are two large areas along the parkway, one near 14th and one near, if I'm looking at this correctly, I think 48th. Either that or that actually might be 40th. Yeah, actually it's 48th. So one near 14th and Nebraska Parkway, and then the other one near 48th and Nebraska Parkway. And again, combine those two together, and those outages are impacting 2,500 people. That's 2,500 people without power right now. I'm going to switch over to Norris Public Power because it's getting worse as this storm moves through the entire county. Right now, Lancaster County residents in the Norris Public Power outage area, 161 Lancaster County residents without power for Norris Public Power. In Thayer County, they're almost at 300 customers without power. Seward County under 100 currently, but those are some of the major outages at this point right now, and that's just beginning as this line continues to move basically through the capital city and through the rest of southwestern Lancaster County. Haven't checked Omaha Public Power yet to see what the folks in Cass County and Saunders County are dealing with. But Brandon, I'm sure that the numbers up there are also pretty high too, given what we've just seen roll right through up in that direction. Brandon?
Yes. Again, we're seeing that line of storms basically moving towards the Omaha metro area at this point. And we do still have that tornado warning near the Ashland area at this time. I'll kind of zoom in here and show you that it'd be between Ashland and Gretna at this point, where we do still have a bit of a hook echo there. So that's where we have that strongest rotation right now, and where there could potentially be a tornado. Even again, if you don't get the tornado, up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, some quarter-size hail possible. Looks as though, again, Ryan, thank you for your update there with the power outage situation that has been reported. Again, we're getting thousands without power in some areas now as this line of strong to severe thunderstorms continues to make its way through the area, much of eastern Nebraska now, and into southeastern Nebraska and portions of northern Kansas as well. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning near Washington at this point until 2:45 a.m. So we'll thank you, Ryan, for your reports tonight and into the early this Friday morning. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning, including Wilbur, Beatrice, Odell, Pawnee City. Looks like quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. And then we have also stretching up from Lincoln up towards Fremont, Omaha, all included this severe thunderstorm warning for some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. You can also see those tornado warnings, one that includes Ashland and Plattsmouth until 2:45 a.m. And then we get up towards portions of Washington County, Burt, also included in tornado warnings, Tacoma and Blair going until 2:45 a.m. And then we also have east of Fremont tornado warning as well until 2:30 for part of Dodge and Washington County. May see some quarter-size hail with that at this time. Again, it looks like now report of roughly 2,400 residents without power according to LES. At this time, and Norris reporting 161 residents without power, so getting that report right now. So now we're getting the power outage reports due to these thunderstorms moving through at this time. Let's show you that watch area just to get the update there, as we did have some counties that were taken out of the severe thunderstorm watch. It's still supposed to go till 4 a.m., but again, some of those counties were taken out and until 8 a.m. for extreme southeastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas, and that flood watch continuing for part of eastern Nebraska until 10 a.m. Columbus, Fremont, Wahoo, Omaha included in that. There's one more wide look at the activity over the past 4 hours. You see those storms racing across central and eastern Nebraska during that time period. Bill, did you have an update?
Just to go along with Norris Public Power, they're reporting power outages for people in Gage County, Jefferson County, Lancaster, Saline, Seward, and Thayer County. About less than 600 altogether. But again, numerous power outages across those counties.
Okay, thank you, Bill, for that update. Again, this is kind of where things stand right now. We'll stay with you just a little bit longer, at least till 2:30, as some of these warnings are set to expire at that time period. As we still have this line moving through Lincoln, Lancaster County at this point. Not a tornado warning in the Lancaster County area at this time, but not too far down the road there. You can see Gretna is still included in that tornado warning until 2:45. So it's really between Gretna and Louisville that has that greatest potential for a tornado at this point, with that bit of a hook echo there, that possible rotation as well. And you can see the storms moving through, getting some heavy rain moving through the capital city right now. We're up to about 1/3 of an inch of rain so far here at the station with this activity moving through at this time. And so you're going to see maybe upwards of 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain in some locations when this is all said and done, it looks like, with this particular round. And once this moves through, here's the news I will share, is that I think once this line moves through, yes, we could see some lingering showers and thunderstorms as we head into the early this morning, I should say. But I think once this is out of here, we're done with the possibility of rain for the bulk of Friday. It's really going to be early this morning, maybe till about sunrise, where we still have that possibility of seeing a few lingering showers or thunderstorms in parts of southeast Nebraska, northeastern Kansas. But I think after that, we're looking at just mostly sunny Friday and cooler and breezy. Cooler compared to what we dealt with yesterday, as we'll probably have highs in the 60s and 70s on your Friday. But then we do have potential at more thunderstorms moving through this weekend. For Saturday, there's the potential of another round of severe weather Saturday night, and then maybe some more thunderstorm activity on Sunday. Of course, meteorologist Brad Anderson will have all this for you coming up on the 10:11 this morning at 5 a.m. So I'm kind of looking ahead there a little bit. Bill, do you have an update?
Large tree down on Normal Boulevard in Lincoln, just to the north of South Street.
Okay. So again, we have now a report of a large tree down on Normal Boulevard, just north of South Street in Lincoln. And it looks as though a new severe thunderstorm warning is being issued as well here. So let's get the latest information for you on that, as we still have warnings getting issued. Again, we have the tornado warning till 3 a.m. for northeastern Cummings, southeastern Thurston County, as well as Burt County, northern Burt County until 3 a.m. Tornado was possible, as well as quarter-size hail. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 16 miles northeast of West Point and moving east at about 45 miles per hour on that. And then we have, again, a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for several counties. Some in Iowa, so I'll try to find the Nebraska counties here. Southeastern Burt, East Central Lancaster, Douglas, Southeastern Saunders, Sarpy, Washington, Northwestern Oto, and Cass until 3:15 a.m. Line of thunderstorms capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, moving east at 60 miles per hour. So you can see that warning. Lincoln kind of on the southwestern part of that polygon there, and you can see that line extending up to just, it looks like, entering West Omaha now, and then Wahoo included in the warning, and then it goes into western Iowa, it looks like, at this time. Bill?
We have multiple counties being canceled from the watch: Merrick, Nance, Polk, York, Adams, Clay, Fillmore, Franklin, Hall, Hamilton, Webster.
Okay, so that sounds like a lot of south central Nebraska taken out. So let's go to that watch graphic, and there you go. Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, all in the clear at this point. Looks like Aurora, you're in the clear. York, you're out of the watch now. So looks like you're in the clear as far as the severe weather goes at this point. But still, the watch goes till 4 a.m. for Lincoln, Omaha, in eastern Nebraska. Then extreme southeastern Nebraska as you head towards Falls City. Beatrice also included in the watch till supposed to go until 8 a.m. It looks like on this Friday morning. As we now approach 2:30. So let's just go through the warnings here one more time now that we've hit the 2:30 mark. Kind of give you an update on where we stand with everything at this time as we do. Still have several areas in eastern Nebraska with that severe weather moving through at this time. Looks like, again, we've got warning stretching here in northeastern Nebraska around Winnebago down towards West Point and Tacoma. Tacoma still under that tornado warning until 2:45. And then we have a tornado warning there in Blair. It looks like till 2:45 as well. So it looks as though that line is in northeastern Nebraska is approaching Tacoma and Blair. So we'll be moving into western Iowa here shortly, the edge of that line, the front edge. And then we have that line of storms still making its way towards Omaha. Looks like, again, we have that still that bit of a hook echo developing, or still there really, southeast of Gretna. So this is a tornado warning for part of Cass, Douglas, and Sarpy County going until 2:45. As we still have not only that tornado potential, but also we have the potential at 70 mile per hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. And then you can see down towards Adams, Beatrice, the severe thunderstorm warning. And now severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for, it looks like, the rest of extreme southeastern Nebraska, or I should say extreme southeastern Nebraska at this point. This warning is for, well, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for part of Burt and Thurston County until 3:15 a.m. for 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And then we also have that's Fremont, southwestern Page counties, and southwestern Iowa, but southeastern Lancaster, Johnson, Nemaha, Otto, Richardson, Pawnee, and Gage counties till 3:15 a.m. Line of severe thunderstorms moving east at 60 miles per hour, capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So you can see that line there in southern Lancaster County down towards Beatrice. All included in this: Nebraska City, Auburn, Tecumseh, Pawnee City, Syracuse, Hickman, Wymore, Humboldt, Peru, Bennett, Firth, Adams, Palmyra, Sterling, Johnson, and Cook, all included in this latest severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 3:15 a.m. for 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So there you go. We've got, again, 70 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail possible with this line of storms, and still that potential in portions of far eastern Nebraska for tornadoes as well. So we have that tornado warning continuing for portions of Cass, also into Douglas and Sarpy County there. So Springfield included in that warning. Bellevue, Plattsmouth, looks as though Gretna still under that warning. Papillion, I'd be probably right around Springfield is where we might have that best rotation at this point for a potential tornado. And then you can see up towards Tacoma and Blair still under a tornado warning as well. Going to check in. Bill, do you have any other updates at this time?
Haven't seen anything too new. I mean, the counties that have been canceled from the watch, which is good. And then the newest warning that was just issued. Nothing else new other than those two things.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll stay with you here for a few more minutes, see if any other warnings get issued at this point. But it looks as though this activity, for the most part, especially in northeastern, east central Nebraska, is pretty much approaching the Iowa-Nebraska state line. But even once that initial part of the line moves through, we do have more rain behind it, so it will continue to rain for a little while even after the severe part of the line moves on through. We'll check one more time with Ryan Swanigan, who's out in the 1011 Weather Shield. Ryan, how are things looking right now?
Yeah, Brandon, we're just getting into Ceresco right now, so nothing that we can report just yet. We've seen some, oh my gosh, there's a large, wow, that's a large tree down, that's off to our left. I don't know what road that was. We're coming up on the main street here in Ceresco. I'm seeing if I can flip around, but it looks like there's a large tree down back there on a road on the south side at Ceresco here. We're turning off of Highway 77 and going into town. The good news, and this is a good thing, the power is still on. Obviously, you can see street lights are still working and everything. We're going to check and go down this road here in Ceresco and see what we got. But again, at least in the south side of town, we just saw a large tree branch down blocking one of the roads. We're now going through the heart of Ceresco. I think this is the equivalent of Ashland Road that we're actually on. And it looks like we got a sign blown down over here and a lot of small branches that are in the road here in Ceresco. Again, the reason why we're up here is because we watched this tornado warning that came out of the Butler County area and come right over Valparaiso, right over Ceresco and into parts of Saunders County. It looks like we got more branches down here in front of us and to our right, so we'll get around these. Again, nothing major like we saw when we just got into town, but currently, from what it looks like, not too much damage so far here in Ceresco. Again, it was the big concern when we watched that tornado warning go right over Ceresco, and it just did not look like a good deal. And so far up here in Ceresco, Brandon, the damage does not look anything that jumps out to this point. Again, other than that tree branch, and then we've got some small limbs down in the roadway here. So we'll keep checking around Ceresco and see what we've got in terms of damage. I know Bill Rentschler is now monitoring the power outages back in Lincoln. I don't know what the latest update on that is, but certainly this storm has left its mark, not just in the capital city, but also here in southern Saunders County, in a place that also just got hit earlier this week too, Brandon.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan, for that report. Again, good to hear that damage not too bad in the area that you were in. And so take a look at what we have going on our radar right now. We do have, again, the severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Lincoln, Waverly, up towards Ceresco, Louisville, Gretna, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. I do want to take a moment to mention the new tornado warning that has been issued for northeastern Sarpy, northeastern Cass County. You can see into western Iowa. That for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 4 miles south of Papillion and moving east at 60 miles per hour. So this is that same storm that got a warning on it when it was near Ceresco and has now made its way to south of Papillion and heading, it looks like, between Bellevue and Plattsmouth at this time with this latest tornado warning. As it still has a bit of an indication there of rotation south of Papillion at this time. So this is radar indicated rotation that we have for that tornado warning going until 3:15 a.m. So we continue to watch this line of storms moving through right now. Looks like the Beatrice area, Lincoln, back up near Omaha. And it looks as though in northeastern Nebraska, the severe part of the line is making its way into western Iowa at this point. But still seeing the shower and thunderstorm activity even behind this severe part of the activity here. West Point, Norfolk, Wayne, Madison still dealing with some rain at this time. And also got that rain still around Wahoo and B, Seward, York, Wilbur, Geneva, dealing with some rain right now, and back towards maybe even Superior, still dealing with a little bit of rain at this time. Looks as though it may be getting a new warning. This is, again, a tornado warning that looks like it includes mainly western Iowa at this point, a little bit of Burt and Washington counties, and it is going until, it looks like, 2:45 a.m., or actually, let's see, it's going to go until 3:30 a.m. On that latest warning. So again, that's mainly into western Iowa at this time. Let's see, we still have the warning there. As you notice, for Lincoln, the severe thunderstorm warning continues. So we'll stay with you just a little bit longer here. That warning going until 2:45, it looks like. So for another 5 minutes, and we'll see what happens with the warning, and then maybe we'll get you back to regular scheduled programming at this point. As we are still seeing this line, most of the activity, especially in the northern half, heading out of Nebraska and into Iowa, but we still do have the line of storms stretching from around Beatrice towards Lincoln and up near Omaha at this time. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail possible, and again, still in a few areas, that potential for a tornado in a few locations in far eastern Nebraska. What do you have, Bill?
Some additional power outages being reported in central Lincoln near Sheridan Elementary, about 150 customers, according to LES.
Okay, so we still have, how many customers total right now?
About 2.6 thousand.
Okay, so 2,600 currently without power, according to LES, it looks like at this time, as we have had this line of thunderstorms moving through. We're now up to almost half an inch of rain here at the station, so it may be picking up some additional rain here, as we still have the rain behind the severe thunderstorms continuing, so maybe half to 3/4 of an inch, maybe in some spots.
And Plattsmouth lost power.
Yes, Plattsmouth has just lost power. So that's the city of Plattsmouth has lost power, it looks like, according to a report at this time. As that storm, the severe thunderstorm, has been moving through Saunders County, and now you can see heading towards Plattsmouth at this time. So you'll notice that the initial front part of the line is just now reaching Plattsmouth, but power outage being reported in Plattsmouth at this time. We do have, again, these severe thunderstorms capable of producing up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, some moderate to heavy rain as well, and even a few isolated tornadoes are possible. We have had a history of a few of these actually being observed, where we have had a few warnings, actually not just radar indicated, but actually reported tornadoes in some locations. Started out in the western part of the state Thursday evening, and now here we are at almost 2:45 a.m., and we're still talking about this line of thunderstorms moving through. We did have that enhanced risk for severe weather across much of central and eastern Nebraska throughout the afternoon into the evening, and here we are even at 2:42 a.m. Still dealing with these severe thunderstorms. But the good news I have, as I mentioned, is that we'll see this activity move on out, and then the rest of Friday looks to be pretty much quiet at this point. Of course, meteorologist Brad Anderson will have the latest for you coming up here in a little more, 2 hours and 18 minutes beginning at 5 a.m. on 10/11 this morning. And then we have one more check of everything, and then we'll probably get you back to regular scheduled programming, just to kind of show you that we still have the severe thunderstorm watch across much of eastern Nebraska until 4 a.m., although you can see Beatrice and Falls City actually goes till 8 a.m. At this time. The flood watch continuing for part of eastern Nebraska from Columbus to Omaha up towards Fremont, Wahoo until 10 a.m. And here is one more check of that activity, the line of storms, as we've gone through the last 4 hours. You can see racing across central and eastern Nebraska at about 45 to 55 miles per hour. And those storms, again, it looks like into western Iowa now, and then just stretching down to north central Kansas near the Concordia area. But most of that is not severe at this time. Storms continuing to roll through Lincoln. It looks as though the warning for Lincoln will expire here in a few minutes. We'll see if there is an extension of it. I don't think there will be at this time, at least not for Lincoln, as it looks as though the strongest of the activity is now starting to move east of the capital city. But still some moderate to heavy rain at this time moving through. Could still see some gusty winds and maybe some small hail in some of these locations behind the initial the initial line of activity moving through. So we'll go down the line here, just kind of show you, put some more communities on the map, let you take a look at one more time at the warnings that we have. Tacoma and Blair still under a tornado warning until 2:45, so those are set to expire. And then we have till 2:45 portions of Cass, Douglas, and Sarpy County, so that will go here in a minute, as well as some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. That's why I wanted to stick with you for just a few more minutes here with this activity and just see what happens right after 2:45 a.m. if anything gets extended at this time. But it looks as though a lot of this is moving into western Iowa, and it's really just towards extreme southeastern Nebraska, where we still have that potential at maybe seeing some additional warning activity at this point. So we've hit 2:45. Some of the warnings have gone away. It looks like Lincoln no longer under a warning at this time. Not getting any indication of a new warning for the Lincoln area, as it does look like the severe part of the activity has moved east of the capital city at this point, east and southeast. Still have southeastern Lancaster County under a warning here, I believe, until that goes until 3:15 a.m. For 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. Before we send you back, we'll send you one more time with one more check of Ryan Swanigan in Ceresco right now in the Weather Shield. Ryan, what do you have?
Yeah, Brandon, we've driven around town a little bit. No significant damage, thankfully, to report up here. That was the big concern when we saw that tornado warning move through Valparaiso, it moved through Ceresco. It just missed Ashland maybe by a little bit. Going over an area that's been already saturated, and now more rain is here and all over the place, and the tornado warnings with it. But thankfully, again, just some branches down, no big tree limbs. We were looking at what was actually an old tree limb that was on the side of the road on Elm Street, I believe it is, here in the southern part of Ceresco. So optical illusion, we were going by it at about 50 miles an hour, but thankfully no large tree limbs down here in Ceresco. Bill kind of mentioned it a little bit ago with the power outage situation. I'm going to run through that real fast with LES right now. 2,700 customers without power. We mentioned those major outages down in the southern part of the city near 14th and Nebraska Parkway, another one near 48th and Nebraska Parkway, and also another one in the area of Normal Boulevard and South. I know Bill mentioned the report of a large tree branch down in the Normal and South area. Norris Public Power customers in Lancaster County, still at last check, almost 300 without power in Thayer County, over 150 without power in Lancaster County, and then some outages in Gage and Seward counties as well. Going to Omaha Public Power, nothing really major to report, at least in the Saunders County area, maybe up north, near just south of the Columbus area. You mentioned, Brandon, that tornado warning that's ongoing right now in the Blair area. There is a large power outage up there in Washington County around the Blair area that's got almost, well, if you include Washington County as a whole, almost 7,000 customers without power, and a large area of that is in and south of the Blair section of Washington County. Also outages in Omaha as well. Looks like there also could be a few outages in and north of the Ashland area. So that's all according to Omaha Public Power. Saunders County as a whole, over 700 without power because of these storms that have gone through. And actually, we just got an update on the Norris Public Power outages. Almost 200 now. It's over 180 without power in the Lancaster County area. That's primarily the very large outage in northeastern Lancaster County, to the north and a little bit northwest of Waverly. So that's a power outage situation, Brandon.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Ryan, for your report. Appreciate that. And probably going to start to wrap things up here in the 1011 Weather Center. Just kind of going through one more time where we stand with the warnings. You'll notice that it looks as though the bulk of the warnings have moved into western Iowa and northeastern Nebraska at this time. So from around Pender to West Point, still dealing with some rain. Also Norfolk, Creston, Columbus, Fremont. You'll see Omaha still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like the tornado warning that includes a little bit of far eastern Nebraska, maybe Plattsmouth area. That going until, looks like 3:15 a.m. The severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also some quarter-size hail. That would be down towards Omaha and Elmwood. Looks like Hickman, Syracuse, Cook, Adams, Tecumseh, Wymore, Pawnee City, Auburn, still under that severe thunderstorm warning, going until about 3:15 a.m. for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. And so that's where we stand with it right now. Let's take a look at our severe thunderstorm watch. Here's some good news. Some more counties have been taken out of the watch. Looks as though Saunders, Dodge counties are out, so Fremont and Wahoo David City there at Butler County is out. Seward, you're out. Lincoln and Omaha still remain, it looks like, at this time. And then here's just one more wide view of where things stand with our thunderstorms, as they're now pretty much into far eastern Nebraska, across most of the eastern third of the area, though you will notice extreme southeastern Nebraska still has yet to see this line move through, but you're looking at 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and still cannot rule out a few isolated tornadoes as we go through the next few hours. So that is the very latest that we have for you here from the 1011 Weather Center. We'll continue to keep you updated with information at the bottom of the screen. And then if necessary, we'll break back into programming. Of course, meteorologist Brad Anderson will have the very latest coming up for you at 5 a.m. on 1011 this morning. But for now, we'll get you back to your regular scheduled program.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Again, we're just listening to meteorologist Brandon Rector, who went for a very long time there. Again, you could hear his voice was going. We'll stick with you here for just a few more minutes, again, as this line continues to basically push over the Missouri River and out of our coverage area. Again, there's just a few spots in the far southeastern parts of the state that haven't seen this line push through just yet. So again, areas like Nebraska City, Auburn, Pawnee City, Falls City, again, over the course of the next 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you'll see this line push through the area again. So I have the radar scope up right now, again, and you can see the looping radar over the course of the last hour or so. Still raining right now in Lincoln. And again, still have a few tornado warnings that those have basically pushed over the border into parts of western Iowa. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning for the far southeastern parts of the county. Again, that goes for another 22 minutes or so. Again, the latest with that was that 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are going to be possible. So again, areas in parts of Johnson, Pawnee, Richardson, Omaha, as well as Odo County, going to still have that potential to see some really strong winds as we head over the course of the next 30 to 45 minutes or so as those storms continue to push through. We're again right now just in Lincoln and Lancaster County, we're dealing with mainly just rain. But I'm going to minimize that. What I want to do is I want to turn to this map right here, which is our storm reports map from the course of the entire day, which, again, these storms started out west of North Platte, out near Ogallala. And, again, you can see all the warnings that have been issued throughout the duration of this evening. And so you can see numerous tornado warnings that were issued out across parts of Keith and Lincoln County over towards Imperial. I saw reports of numerous, or at least not numerous necessarily, but several tornadoes across those areas. And then really what happened was the southern edge of this line continued to intensify, and it continued to push across the southwestern, south central sections of the state. And then we did have a number of wind reports with those thunderstorms, but then sort of the northern half of that line really began to intensify, and then you can see all the tornado warnings that have been issued over the course of the past 2 hours or so. And again, that's what Brandon has just been talking about so extensively over the past, again, several hours, is just the numerous amount of tornado warnings that we'd have issued across the east central sections of the state. But there have been a couple reports that want to at least draw your attention to. Again, we had seen a really tight couplet near the Ashland area, and we did have a report near Ashland. Storm Chaser reporting widespread tree damage with numerous branches down across Highway 66. I believe we had a report of an almost 70-mile-an-hour wind gust near the Ashland area. Again, we've seen some reports of some tree damage, some trees down in the Lincoln area, and again, also those power outages as well. I want to slide on here down to the south and west and go down over towards the Holdridge area because we did see some reports. They were thinking, ooh, that was a loud thunderclap. Again, some folks have certainly gotten woken up tonight from some of these very noisy thunderstorms. But a report from the Holdridge area that says possible tornado damage in Holdridge, including large trees uprooted or snapped, garage severely damaged, damage to outbuildings, gutters, and a chimney. That was as of 11:30 from the emergency manager in Phelps County, again in Holdridge. And unfortunately, Holdridge just dealt with a tornado not too long ago, another possible tornado. But again, a lot of straight-line wind damage also with these storms out there. Sometimes, what we may think is tornado damage is actually straight-line wind damage. So again, survey teams from the National Weather Service from the North Platte office, from the Hastings office, as well as the Omaha office will surely be busy over the next few days as they go out to survey potential damage from the storms that we're seeing across and have seen across the area over the past several hours. So again, you can see numerous wind damage reports across south central Nebraska, several tornado reports out west near North Platte, Ogallala, also several tornado reports across parts of eastern Nebraska as well, with the numerous amount of tornado warnings that we have had issued over the past several hours. So I wanted to draw your attention to that. And again, producer Ryan Swanigan had mentioned it, but I want to just pull up the map so people can see it. Just a little bit of a visual view. This is the power outages in Lincoln as we approach 3 a.m. All the power outages are kind of in the southern part of town. South central Lincoln, I guess I would say. We're basically along and maybe just to the north of Nebraska Parkway, between Nebraska Parkway and Normal Boulevard. Again, the highest number of them being near 40th Street and Nebraska Parkway, about 1,300 customers without power. Over near about 14th and Nebraska Parkway, about 1,200 customers without power. And then again, some neighborhoods, kind of in the Sheridan neighborhood, near Sheridan Elementary School. And then back over just to the east a little bit, we have numerous power outages kind of being reported in those neighborhoods. Norris Public Power, again, this is updated every 10 minutes. I'm just going to give it a refresh. Looks like this was last updated just a couple minutes ago. Still have about 187 customers out without power in Lincoln or in Lancaster County, and you can see again those are mostly in the northern part of the county. Seward County again has more numerous power outages, or at least spread out over the county. 69 customers without power there. Also just to the southwest of Hebron, down in Thayer County, over 300 people without power in Thayer County. Again, just to the southwest of Hebron. And then the Omaha Public Power District, again, they're reporting a lot of outages, again, in the Omaha area, and then kind of just to the north up near Blair as well. So, again, dealing with power outages tonight, which is kind of what we had expected. When we're talking straight line winds, damaging winds, again, generally that, will lead to power outages. Again, you just get a tree knocks down, it takes out a power line or a couple power poles, and then all of a sudden, again, you're dealing with a lot of people that are without power. So, again, this is a live look at the radar right now. Again, the good news here is that there are currently no active tornado warnings in our coverage area. There are a couple tornado warnings that are over the border into parts of western Iowa. Again, western Iowa has seen plenty of its fair share of tornadoes over the past couple of weeks, so again, don't want to see that continue. But again, this is a pretty stout line of storms that continues to push off to the east, and as we just saw, again, you get these little kinks, these little notches in this line. Again, you can get a pretty brief spin-up tornado to push through the area pretty quickly. So again, it's southeastern Nebraska that's still waiting for some of these thunderstorms to push through. So again, folks in Nebraska City, you're going to see this line push through in just the next few minutes. If I pause the radar here, again, Nebraska City, Talmadge, Johnson Brock, Pawnee City, Summerfield. Again, you folks are going to see this line move through here in just the next couple minutes. Currently under that severe thunderstorm warning that lasts for another 16 minutes until 3:15 a.m. And again, 70-mile-an-hour winds and some quarter-sized hail going to be possible with these storms as they push on through, to go along with some heavy rain. And again, I can attest, because I'm still hearing it right now, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning with these storms as well. And still just dealing with some rain right now in the Lincoln area, some noisy rain, again, as we still have a bunch of lightning in the Lincoln area as well. So, again, we'll just we'll leave it at that. It's been a busy night for us. It's been a busy stretch of weather over the course of the past week, over the past several weeks. And again, we'll continue to monitor potential power outages, any damage reports that we may see, not only from across Lincoln and Lancaster County, but from across the coverage area as well. I'll check in really quick and check with the National Weather Service chat, see if there's anything last minute that I need to make sure gets relayed to everyone, which it doesn't look like there is. Again, just dealing with some storm reports. Still have looks like the severe thunderstorm watch technically still in effect for Lincoln and Lancaster County for another hour. Again, the severe threat for Lincoln is basically done with. Again, the severe threat is along the leading edge of that line. But yeah, so folks in far southeastern Nebraska, Falls City, Nebraska City, Auburn, Pawnee City, Humboldt, Johnson Brock, you folks still have to deal with this for another half hour, 45 minutes as this line blows on through. And again, we could see some damaging winds, maybe some small hail, and some dangerous lightning mixed in here. And again, like Brandon said, if we need to cut back into coverage, we certainly will do so. If we need to punch the live stream back up, we certainly will do so. If we see anything that we need to come back on for. But otherwise, I think we'll just go ahead and leave it at that for now. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, for watching. Again, to 10:11 after dark, my watch died. I've been getting a lot of my warnings and reports off my watch over the course of the last several hours. So it's been a long night. My watch finally gave up, and I think I'm not going to be too far behind it. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, watching. Again, hope everyone can kind of get back to bed here at this point and get a couple hours sleep before we kick off our Friday and before we kick off, again, the Memorial Day weekend. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and for watching. Hope everyone has a nice night, and we'll go ahead and we'll see you next time.